He just walked away. Watch, he'll come in. He'll come in through a different door. Oh no, he's cooking. He's cooking something.
Oh,
no. Too late. Oh, we don't want Steve to know we're actually on. Hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane and Jay Hannon.
Keep it on the down low.
Yeah. Hey, the American. Hey, Quentin James. Yeah, we're live again. We're whispering because we don't want Steve Anderson to know that we started.
I'm right here. I heard you.
Uh-oh. April Fool.
Welcome to EBH Gear, Johnny Beane. We're looking at February 9th, 2018. It's about 9:57 p.m. Pacific.
Specific?
Yeah, 3 minutes to 1 on the East Coast for Jay Hannon. Jay Hannon's in the house. Get crazy.
Poof.
Everybody get crazy because I am. I'm getting crazy.
Yeah. And Johnny Beane's in the house. Get rocking.
Get even crazier.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting crazy tonight, you guys.
What's in that bottle?
And I'm Steve Anderson, the Rum Meister. I've been declared the Rum Meister, so I got a rum here for Jay Hannon.
You know what's the best? When somebody else comes up with your nickname that you don't even know.
Yeah. Everybody does that with me. So that was R2, R3 Locking Nut. R2, R3 Locking Nut gave me that nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Clayton James says, Steve, today's Frankenstrat Friday. So, Clayton, where I am on the East Coast, it is now Saturday. So, What is it?
Yeah. It's 50 Saturday. Fun 50 Friday.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm blurry. Yeah, so we're back. We had a great show earlier with Nesdal and Larry Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of you guys are probably watching that right now, wondering why we're back. But
pause it.
At the very end of the earlier show, we realized, the Van Halen 1 album and Different Kind of Truth both had anniversaries this week. And we totally didn't talk about any of that. So we figured we'd go live again and talk about that. So anything you guys want to know about Van Halen 1, the 1978 debut, or Different Kind of Truth, we'll talk about. And have a great time all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
we can ask people to say like their favorite songs from each album, or
and if anybody out there is interested, the Inside magazine from 20 years ago, issue 14, is all about the first world tour with Eddie on the cover with the Frankenstein before it was painted red.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is nuts. A lot of people don't know that, man. That's the same guitar.
So this is the first page when you open it up. This is Van Halen. I think this is in Great Britain because I think they were opening up for Black Sabbath.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I love it when I say something obvious. Every time I say something obvious, I am hacked right at the knees.
What?
Well, yeah, Johnny gets you with it, and then Dave gets me with that when I say something odd.
No, I mean they're dressed up, but look behind them though. You can see the bridge there and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got my vitamin water to hydrate. I've got this stuff to dehydrate, and then I've got this stuff to try to get rid of that cough. So Jeannie, I've got my tea. So
cup of tea.
Hopefully,
no lemon in it though, right?
Where's that picture again, Steve?
No lemon, right?
I got my cup of tea.
Which one?
The one from England.
Oh, England.
I'm drinking the tea that Nick Thompson sent me all the way from England.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
What was there, about 160 bags in that box of tea?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
Next time you see him in the chat, you should tell him you're almost out. He's got to send you more. But he drank 160 tea bags in 2 weeks.
Well, when you're sick as Johnny is. Yeah.
Tell him, man, I can't get out of the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom nonstop now. That's good stuff, though, man. So if I sound kind of weird, it's because I'm trying to talk and not cough at the same time. It's terrible. It's terrible. But look at that. Steve has some cool stuff there. So what?
Everybody, if you look up here, this is Van Halen receiving gold and platinum awards for the first record.
Oh,
Right
that's
there.
cool.
Yeah, that's a shot that not many people have ever seen.
I've never seen that.
There
That's
you
cool.
go. Yeah. Good stuff.
Do you remember hearing, I think Alex talked about when they got off the road from Van Halen 1, thinking like, oh, you know, the album went this, the album did that, you know, it was super successful. And they got home and said, Warner Brothers is like, oh, hey, by the way, you owe us $1 million or something. And oh, by the way, ×2, your next album is due in like 2 weeks or something. And they're like, what? It's crazy. I mean, the record industry back then, I mean, it's always been kind of shady, but I mean, they don't care.
No,
you know?
but tons of bands
not
were
care.
like that. It didn't matter if you were like Kiss or like Iron Maiden. Like they did an album, tour, Christmas off, and then in the studio for a couple months,
right in the
and then
studio.
bang. Like that was like Iron Maiden's plan for a decade was that. It was just like, album, tour for 8 months, Christmas off, back in the studio. That was the whole schedule by the management. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Here's the spreadsheet or the centerfold of this one. Van Halen live somewhere. Maybe Oakland, I don't know.
I think that's Oakland Day on the Green. That's Oakland Stadium.
Yeah.
Man.
Which I'll be driving past.
Look at all the people there tonight.
Today.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah, Steve, I'll be driving past that stadium on Sunday.
Cool. And we found out that Jay Hannon at some point with his Gizmachi band, they played the US Festival, wherever the US Festival was played.
You know, I wish I would have known that when we played there.
Yeah. You could have
I was
parachuted.
clueless. I'd still be paying that off.
Yeah.
You played the same amphitheater, huh?
I guess. Or it was close to it. I don't know. I thought we talked about this, right?
We talked about this, in San Bernardino.
I thought you said that it wasn't the same, it was near it. Or maybe it was the same one. I don't know.
I think we figured out it was the same. Hey, Jay Turner's in here. Hey, man.
Jay Turner.
Jay Turner. He's a good guy, man. Yeah, he's a good friend. He came out. We first met over at Jason Becker's house, probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Huh.
And then he came out here some months back, and we met up in Walnut Creek and had dinner. Jay, he actually plays bass in a Van Halen tribute.
Oh wow!
So if you look at his avatar there, you can see he's actually dressed up in like the orange jumpsuit and.
So he lives in California, Johnny. He lives
No, he lives in I forget. Where do you live? I think he lives out near you, near other Jay.
Oh,
really?
I think so.
Uh-oh. We have to start a Van Halen tribute band. I'll play drums.
North Carolina.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's where he lives.
Yeah, I'm on the border of South and North Carolina. Yeah, he's in North Carolina. Needs a poof shirt. Here we go, Jeannie, again.
Here's a photo that probably not a lot of people have seen. You don't see Ed's face, but there's a big fan and a monitor, and I don't know what's going on there on the stage. Yeah. But it's just a shot that not a lot of people would know because you don't see his face, right? So not a lot of people would put this in a magazine. But yeah.
Huh? Well, he's playing a Les Paul too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing is thick.
Here's the a back photo of this magazine. The guys are looking sort of fashionable.
Mm-hmm. 70s glamour. Yeah, that's his Lowe's hour. That's his Lowe's hour picture.
Yeah. Everybody's got platform boots.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of, I guess we'll talk about that first record. What are your guys' memories of that? Like when did you guys first get that album? Was that like the first Van Halen album you guys ever got, or?
No. My intro, I'll just sum it up fast. My intro to Van Halen was probably like in 1984 when the like Jump Video, Panama, Hot for Teacher. I didn't actually own any of the stuff until 5150. That was my intro to the whole thing, and like Live Without a Net. And then because I was 15 years old, and I missed out on the original Van Halen because I was into like Kiss and AC/DC and stuff. So, but then all of a sudden, I had to go back, and at the time it was all like little cassettes, so I had them all, like Van Halen 1, 2, like all the way. So I missed out on it. But yeah. Jay, what about you?
I cannot remember when I got the first Van Halen album because my brother introduced me to all that stuff anyway, and he, was the one who got the albums, and I heard them through him. So I can't remember when I actually got the CDs of that one, at least Van Halen 1. And I can't remember the first time I heard Eruption. I can't remember that. I do remember when my brother got Van Halen 2, but it was after it came out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, my brother's 4 years older than me, so when that came out, he would have been 6 or 7? You know what I mean? So I don't. It's hard for me to remember exactly. I do remember when he bought 5150 in '84, and I remember when I got Fair Warning, but I mean it's all a blur. I was so young, But I do remember being, 7, 8, 9 years old and listening to those tapes that I would borrow from my brother. So, yes, Jeannie, my brother's only 4 years older. Yes. Smart ass.
Well, does he look younger than you?
Yeah. I think we have good genes. he looks younger.
Wow, Larry Mitchell's awake.
Nice.
He's uploading videos to YouTube.
Yeah.
Johnny, what about you as far as the first album goes? Do you remember when you heard it first, or?
Hopefully I can talk. Here, let me try this the tea real quick. Oh man. Jay is old. Van Halen 1. I remember 5150 was the first tape, Van Halen tape I ever got. I got that in 1986. But the second Van Halen tape I ever got was the first one. Right. I got that, it would have been in 1986, at a record store called Pickles.
Sweet Pickles?
Pickles.
Remember Sweet Pickles?
The is it the restaurant?
No, it was like a kids thing. They'd bring like these books to your house. Sweet Pickles, you're the one. No, was that it?
I remember Dynamite. Was it like Dynamite?
I don't know.
Remember Dynamite, and it was in rainbow letters?
No. Anyway, we can go on a whole nother tangent here. But
Gary Coleman on the cover. Hey, Robert Reyes. Hey, man. Hey, The Vigilant. Sorry, I'm trying to talk. Steve, you probably know this better than I do. Steve, when did I first get that tape?
Johnny Beane first got Van Halen 1. He got 5150 first, and then he got Van Halen 1.
Van Halen 1
was the second one that he got. And that's the same. I'm not going to say that was the same for me because it might have been close, though. It was definitely 5150 was the first one I owned. And then
what was the first Van Halen you remember hearing?
The videos from 1984.
Okay, Johnny.
Like probably Jump. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think Jump was the first video. And then they had, like in Canada here, they have a program. It's called Much Music. That was our video channel in Canada. They had a thing called the Spotlight. So then they'd have a half an hour, like on any artist. So they'd have a half an hour, like of just Van Halen, let's say. So they do it chronologically. So all of a sudden they'd show the video for like You Really Got Me. Then they'd show Dance the Night Away, maybe Bottoms Up. And they sort of go through the years. And then the Fair Warning ones, of course, with Unchained and Hear About It Later. So This Is Love. But they'd always sort of narrow it down to just a half an hour. So a lot of times, you'd only get a few videos. You want to see all of it, right?
And it wasn't just videos. It was like interview stuff cut in, right? Like cool interview segments. And I used to watch Much Music as well when we had a satellite for a little while.
Oh wow!
Remember the satellite dish?
Yeah. And then there was another show.
It was almost like a pop-up video thing. Well, not pop-up video, but pop-up audio, I guess you would call it.
Remember pop-up
during the song? Yeah. But
that was a great
song on Much Music. They would give like little what would you call them? Like little tidbits or little facts about the song. Yeah. Or the video, or when they were doing this, or cool.
Yeah. And then there was another one on Friday nights. It was called Good Rockin' Tonight. And there was some really cool interviews with Van Halen on the 5150 tour when they played like Toronto and Montreal and Vancouver. There's some really cool interviews if you call them up from the 5150 tour. That was for me, it's my favorite band, right? So I still live and breathe those interviews, right? But those are the two main shows. And they had that Spotlight thing. And then of course for you guys with the MTV down south, and all of a sudden you saw the extra versions of Live Without a Net, where they played like Best of Both Worlds with Addicted to Love in the middle. I don't know what that was from. Was it called Unleashed or something? Or
well, I thought that was on. They showed that during like the music awards, didn't they?
Yeah, there was MTV Music Awards
clip.
Yeah, and then they showed that. And we've talked about it before, how we wish, like, I want the editing, like no editing of Live Without a Net, like just show me the whole thing. Like I want to see.
Oh, dude, I've said that on the show. If let's just say, of course I hope Sammy comes back, but if he does, or at some point I see a re-released version of Live Without a Net with like choose your own camera angle, remastered in like HD or something, and all that stuff, like extra footage, bonus footage. That would be something that I think, every Van Halen fan would want to see.
Oh, for sure.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand here. The first time you remember hearing Van Halen, Johnny.
The first time I remember being aware of them would have been like the Hot for Teacher video, the Jump video, like in '84, like skateboarding around, riding my bike around the neighborhood, running into some kid's house, running past the TV and seeing the Jump video. I remember that. I remember when I was in school around that time, a kid wearing a 1984 T-shirt. With Little Man on the back, or the Hammer guy, whatever you want to call him,
Exterminator.
I remember seeing that. And I knew the Exterminator. I knew that logo from years earlier when I lived in Phoenix. That's where it's called Western Exterminator Company. So I used to see that character all the time when I was, way before Van Halen used that character. But as far as the first album, I remember buying the first album on cassette at a record store called Pickles. And I remember listening to it. I remember sitting in my bedroom, probably doing homework, listening to
doing homework. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm doing my homework.
Yeah, while I'm blasting, eruption and all that.
Yeah, that was me, Jay. I had an old Kramer. My first guitar was a Kramer without a Floyd Rose. It was white with a
Kramer
rose.
made a guitar without a Floyd Rose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've
And,
ever seen one.
yeah, I was full on in guitar mode, just like learning eruption and all the stuff. And then I had to leave the house to study. Like I had to go to a library and just get away. Because when I'm at home, like even now, look at me, right? It's full on guitar like all the time. Like I'm not kidding. It still exists 30 years later. I'm just like, I can't put it down. So back then to get through high school, I had to leave to go study. I had to go to a library. And that's the way I've always had to do it, is to get out of the house, because it's way too distracting. Yeah.
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 Well, it's even worse now with like, the internet and stuff sitting here, everybody checking their Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, just having one of these things.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, Steve Vai talks about, somebody asked Steve Vai in like one of his recent, and he did something on Guitar World, like a Steve Vai method or something like that. It's different parts. And one of the questions or whatever was, as far as, I don't know, practicing routines or just whatever, he said, turn off everything else. He said, assign a certain time. He's like, turn off the internet, don't worry about this. Turn off your phone, whatever. And just pay attention to what you're doing. If you have all these distractions, you're not going to put the time in and improve. So It's hard though, because everybody's so attached to their phones, like Johnny just said. It's hard to not think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like if you have a rehearsal, it's cool to take a selfie, post it to Twitter, and then turn the thing off. Don't be checking your phone every break you get, or hey, 802 Blues, Offender Guru, thank you. He says he loves you guys.
So I'm trying to think the first time. I honestly think it was Fair Warning. I'd have to actually ask my brother the first album he bought, or it would have been cassette. I'd have to ask him, because that would have been the first time I heard it. So
I think that's my favorite of the original 6 Van Halen albums. Is Fair Warning.
It seems like that's the majority. Like when you ask people that aren't just the fair weather Van Halen fans, or just the pop Van Halen fans, when you ask real Van Halen fans, a lot of them will say it's either the first record or Fair Warning, right?
Yeah.
I think Fair Warning isn't that the lowest selling of the Roth era records?
Probably.
Yeah, it is, or it was when it originally came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because that's probably the heaviest one. I mean, if you just Unchained alone,
well, and Main Street with the funky riff, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that might have something to do with 81. That was kind of when new wave first kind of hit.
Yep.
So most of the stuff on the radio you heard was 81. That would have been what, Duran Duran's Planet Earth, maybe.
Yeah.
That Flock of Seagulls. That's all the stuff you would have been hearing.
Yeah.
So it's possible the Fair Warning album just got kind of.
I'll get the video flagged for that. Text my brother right now. It's 1:20 in the morning, and he actually has a job, so I can't wake him up now. He'll kill me.
and then for me, guys, I guess the one song that's just been really killing me like the last few years is Everybody Wants Some. Like when I see that live, I don't care if it's an old video or like the last couple tours, 2012 and 15, like when Alex starts that jungle drum thing, like forget about it. Like it's just awesome. It's a real new favorite of mine. So that Women and Children First, for me is right next door to Fair Warning as far as what I like. It has a lot of diversity, actually, that Women and Children First. There's a bit of acoustic stuff in there, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think that and a Fair Warning, kind of like, as far as tones and vibe, are kind of similar in a lot of ways.
And also, they're not really.
There's a lot of heavy riffs in Women and Children First. A lot of heavy riffs.
And the cover tune thing, right? There's not like Van Halen 1 has the covers and Diver Down has the covers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Both on the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you have a cassette player, you got to get this. I've had this since I was a kid. You know, whenever somebody asks me my favorite Van Halen album, I just show them this. You can't go wrong.
But that's not an album.
It says it is. Especially priced 2 hit albums on one cassette. See, it says it.
Yeah.
2 hit.
Yeah, there you
albums.
go. But it says 2 hit albums.
2 of them.
Mark Taylor says, I remember my best friend in 8th grade playing Eruption for me when Van Halen 1 first came out. So he's an OG.
Mm-hmm.
So he you know, let's see. Dean Gelman said, I first heard Van Halen from the second album. Jay Turner says, I'm 53 years old, so I remember Van Halen 1 coming out. Man.
Here's the tab books, the combined tab books, Women and Children First and Fair Warning.
Oh man, that goes along with my cassette, man.
Yeah. You got to send it to Johnny.
It's a match.
This should.
You can listen to it, and I'll send it to you, and you can play it.
Hey Steve, can I ask you to flip to Mean Street, right? Flip to Mean Street in that book real quick.
You want to know the
last
tapping,
little lick,
end of the tapping intro.
You know that? Did you hear that?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. Let me know if it says played with fingers or if it says tapped.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if these tabs are legit or not right now.
What was that noise? I'm gonna take this cough drop. I really don't want to, but I have to. Otherwise, I can't talk.
Yeah, it's tapped, Jake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. We're seeing some tabs back in the day, and it said played with fingers, and I'm like, no.
No.
Played with fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm assuming they still, something like that. And I can't even do it.
So
Especially
everybody out there, if you're gonna send about $80 to Japan to get this version of Young Guitar, like when I look at a cover of a magazine and it's and it's anything to do with Eddie and the 5150 tour or OU 812, like it's the cover, you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna get about 20 pages of Eddie when I get inside the magazine. Like it's huge. It's like 200 pages, and I'll show you what you get.
Wow.
This is what you get. 1 page of Eddie live 5150 tour. That's great and all, but that's it. And he's on the cover. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Just saying.
Are you serious?
I'm not. I'd never lie to you guys. You know that.
Was that Vi on the other side of that page?
Yeah, he's got a green guitar.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, that's Vi, but yeah, that's from the flexible.
Well, not being Eat 'em and Smile live, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
This is from January 1987. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a warning for everybody out there. If you're going to spend a lot of money to get this, you're only getting this picture and one more and nothing else.
That's crazy.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
So I know Michael Warren says, random Van Halen fanatic here. Eddie made me play guitar at the age of 14. He's 25 now and have made his own Frankenstein replica, and the music never gets old. That's the amazing thing. The music never gets old.
Attaboy.
Yep. I'm almost 41 and the music never gets old.
I got to dig for something. Hold
on. What was that?
Yeah.
So your favorite song off of Van Halen 1, what would it be, Johnny? That's tough. I know it's super tough.
Well, I mean, favorites. I got to even look at it.
I'll
I
intervene
know. That's what I was thinking.
right
too.
away.
What are the songs?
I'm gonna intervene. My favorite song on that record is "I'm the One."
Intervene.
It just rips
the
that
guitar
song.
playing Yeah, the
Oh, it's
guitar playing alone is second to none. Yeah.
No, the whole thing's awesome. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
the amazing thing about that song is I've heard countless covers, guitar covers of that song.
Yeah.
Most of them do not play the guitar riff right. They can't get the rhythm of that. Din, 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 you know, that it's tough. It really is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't hear that proper rhythm of that main riff of that song.
All right. Let me see. What songs are on here?
Oh, he bought the LP out.
Yeah. There
Holding
it
it
is.
sideways.
Yeah. Let's see. You really got me. Jamie's crying. On fire. Run with the devil. I'm the one. They talk about Live Little Dreamer. Feel your love tonight. Atomic Punk. Eruption. Ice Cream Man.
What order is that?
That's just the order that it's on the album on the back.
Yeah,
What?
It's different. Yeah, it's different on the record.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
We're not lying.
It's just written different. It's the same on the album. Although I think
Oh, okay.
from the album and the cassette, I think songs are flipped.
Yeah.
I think
At the end.
Out of these songs, I would say my favorite. I would say is Eruption. I would say, but as far as like a song with vocals,
Not really. Yeah, let's put a band song in. It's got to be your favorite. Jay Turner says "Running with the Devil." Jay Turner on fire. Come on, man.
All Tuner, Fear, Love Tonight.
I would say "Ain't Talking About Love," I guess, but as far as like just a killer tune, like if you guys listen to the Pasadena Civic Auditorium 1977 soundboard, you know, I Steve knows what I'm talking about. When they start that with "On Fire,"
yeah,
it's So I'd have to, because of that performance, I'd have to say "On Fire."
I have a big, huge trivia question. I want the chat to even kick in on this.
I'm glad you finished that.
Yeah. I don't even know the answer to this. So, guys, this is the premiere issue of the Inside magazine. We're talking spring 1995. So, like almost 23 years ago. I still don't know the answer to this. There's a picture, full page in here, of a video that's never been released. It's like Van Halen. It says Sunday afternoon in Jurassic Park. There's a video. You can see the photos. It's them with like dinosaurs. And I don't know if that's from probably Fair Warning. I don't know what song that is. Is it One Foot Out the Door, or why would they do a video for Sunday afternoon in the park, right? So I'm asking, do we know what song that is for, this video outtake?
As far as I know, I don't think anybody knows what that is. It's definitely 81, because you look at their clothing. You look at Ed's.
Yeah, he's got the stripe.
He's got the striped socks, just like in the Unchained video. Well, I mean, I guess pull up Wikipedia and see what singles were released off Fair Warning.
Yeah.
And you can kind of figure out, like, maybe this was for this or for that or whatever. What I heard, maybe it says in that article there.
I'll read it out if you want. Here it is.
Okay.
Van Halen may be the modern day monsters of rock, but his may be pushing it. The Inside dug up these rare, never before published photos of Van Halen in 1981 while on location for a video shoot for the Fair Warning album. We're not quite sure which song the video concept was for, but we do know that the dinosaurs never made it off the cutting room floor. Hey, that rhymed. This Van Halen exclusive is something you'll only find in the inside. So I just don't even know what song that, like, before you start thinking about the songs, you know, there's Mean Street, there's Sinner Swing, When Push Comes to Shove.
But
So
what songs were singles though?
Yeah,
That's what you gotta think about. What songs were actually released? You can look up the Fair Warning record on Wikipedia, and you'll see what songs were actually released.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
'Cause I
dates
mean,
and stuff like that.
we know the videos for Unchained, So This Is Love, and Hear About It Later. And then I'm just trying to, in my mind, think of a song that's related to dinosaurs. Yeah.
Because I mean, what I think I heard years ago was that wasn't like for an actual music video.
Oh,
That was possibly for like one of those TV, like a TV show like video, like a lip sync for a specific show.
right.
You know, like you know, I mean, there's actually clips of them lip syncing to Unchained and Mean Street.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen
In
those
Italy.
videos. Yeah, where Roth is actually strumming guitar along with
Yeah.
Eddie. You've seen those.
Yeah.
So it's possible it was like some sort of concept video for one of those tunes, but
Maybe When Push
knows?
Comes to Shove. Push comes to shove. You got a big dinosaur, can't push it. I don't know.
Man, I should have asked Michael Anthony that.
Yeah,
I just saw him a couple weeks ago, and if you would have messaged me, say, hey, ask him what those pictures are from.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to him for like a couple minutes.
Hey, look what I just pulled out of the woodwork.
Oh, here he goes. Nice.
Yep. This might have been one of the first album books that I got. My brother got this for me for Christmas. Probably, I can't even remember.
Is that Nandy Aldor?
What?
At the bottom, yeah.
Does it say Andy Aldor? Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's cool because it has, let's see, it's got a huge like page and a half write-up on the itself, right?
Yeah.
Van Halen introduction, okay? And then it
goes through a bunch of lessons, right?
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of explaining the Van Halen guitar style.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to like learn the actual songs, it's got all these pages of just explaining little quirks that Eddie did.
Yeah.
Which
that's
really neat.
Hey Jay, that's sort of how I started playing. I just learned pieces of music instead of learning songs beginning to end. But then once I was in a band, like I had to learn songs beginning to end, right? So that was the big change for me.
Yeah, so my favorite, what would be my favorite song on this album? Man, when you think of how old Eddie was when he wrote some of these songs, right? Like when you listen to a song like Little Dreamer, for instance, the songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, part of that was David Lee Roth, right? He said to Eddie and Alex, he said, you know what? Like the guitar playing is like virtuosic and everything, like awesome, right? But it's going to be about the songs, and then you'll have your solo spot to do all your fancy soloing. But it's really, and he's kind of right. You got to have the songs, right? And be on the radio.
Well, of course, you got to have the songs.
Yeah. So that was David Lee Roth's influence right away when he was in that band.
Yeah, but I thought a lot of these songs were written before Roth even got in the band, or when they were first starting out, type of thing. Like somebody said in the chat, like
Eddie
was 16 when he wrote some of these songs,
Yeah, but I mean,
if a 16-year-old is writing music like this, like that's crazy.
Yeah, but I guess as far as piecing it all together and giving him the influence of look, it's got to be about the songs here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was
true, 100% true,
and that mix was in the band the whole way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jay, what's your answer? You picking a song yet? It's been a half an hour.
Well, I take Eruption out of the equation because it's a guitar solo song.
Yeah.
Because that would be if it had to be, if it said choose one song out of this list, that would be the one. It would be Eruption because it's just, you know. But if you take a real song,
And we talked about it on this show a couple months ago. If you listened, Jay, look up a band called Cactus, and there's like the intro parts to Eruption are directly from a song that this band Cactus did in like 1971. So that was an influence of Van Halen early on. And da-da-da-da-da, it's the same notes as this song by this band called Cactus, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm. The three chords and even the drum, like the drums in the beginning, and then yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I heard that.
so I don't know if I could choose a favorite song off of this album.
You got to give us an answer, buddy. We all have a different answer. I've got I'm the One. Johnny's got Ain't Talking About Love. Other guys in the chat have Running with the Devil.
Uh-huh. I also said On Fire though.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. But I honestly think that if you took radio out of the equation, and if songs like Running with the Devil and Ain't Talking About Love were never on the radio, it might be one of those. Because sometimes, you know, the Van Halen fanatics, or any band for that matter, if the song what Genie giving me crap. I can't. It's too hard, man.
Well, one of my
all right, I'm gonna pick a song and off of pure what?
Atomic Punk.
That would have probably been my favorite song when I got this, because it's the heaviest song on the album.
Oh yeah.
I know what you mean though by the songs that are just burned into our heads, you know, that we hear every day. I know what you mean. Those are the songs that you know you generally
I skip over. Like when I make a playlist, I don't add Running with the Devil or Ain't Talking About Love to them. I don't, because I've heard them, or even You Really Got Me. I don't even consider that because it's a cover, you know? So like when I put this album on, I'll go Eruption right to I'm the One and all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I've heard the other ones.
Because those other ones you mentioned, like Running with the Devil, Ain't Talking About Love, and You Really Got Me. Like I played those in the bands I was in. So those, I don't even think about those because I know how to play them like the back of my hand, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's I guess on pure songwriting alone, I'm the One. That would be it's hard, man. It's hard when you have an album full of classics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Johnny, I was talking to Jeannie about this before we went live on this one when I was downstairs about your post last night with A Different Kind of Truth. You know, like, what was yesterday was the 6-year anniversary, right? So it's like, you wrote, "What's your favorite song?" And I was like, man, I'm sitting there scrolling through the phone. I'm like, son of a bitch, you know, because I think there's only 7 awesome songs on that record, in my opinion. Tracks 2 through 8 are great. Everything else to me is filler. But probably Chinatown would be, if I had to choose one, because of the guitar playing and the riff is just killer. Yeah, Strat, I picked one. It was hard, man.
Well, we'll get to that one too. We'll talk about that record.
Yeah.
And what you guys think about that. We got a lot of people in the chat though talking about the first Van Halen album. Like Sean Mahoney says, Ain't Talking About Love. Even with no radio play, he says.
Yeah. So for me, when anybody picks a song and it's not I'm the One, I go, well, what about I'm the One? That's when I know that it's my favorite one, because I have an argument. How could it not be that? Yeah.
And this is in like a dark alley?
Yeah. We got Bret Michaels and Richie Kotzen on the stage on the big screen now at the Cabo Wabo.
Lean back. Lean back.
Yeah. They're doing an American band. That's the name of the song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jay Turner says it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't pick 12. So it's hard when you have an album full of just classic songs, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody got shy.
Odd.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to cough.
Oh, you're doing good, Johnny.
Well, oh, did you
You're
hear
doing
that?
good, eh? No.
I keep having to hit my fader. No, I've got the cough drop. I'm working the cough drop.
No, because you sound normal right now. Like before we started the show and went on air, you were hacking up like crazy.
I couldn't stop.
No,
I
know.
couldn't stop. It was terrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, once you get that tickle, it's not going away. Yeah, you've done something right.
Yeah, yeah. But well, I don't know how much Jay knows about this stuff. Steve, you probably do. What do you think about the Gene Simmons demos? You know, for the Van Halen for the first album.
Oh yeah,
songs and the production and
yeah. I don't. No complaints here. No complaints. I really like even like the 25 song demo that you hear before the first record came out. Just all the little like endings or intros that actually ended up on different songs. I think that's really interesting. How the songs eventually became part of other songs. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for instance, there was a song that they were doing way back and before the first album. There was a song called Voodoo Queen.
Yeah,
is that the one where the Fair Warning riff, or no? Is that a different one?
Yeah, Main Street.
Yeah. It was the music was basically Main Street with the ending of the song was the same ending as in Hot for Teacher. Imagine that. Imagine Mean Street ending with the Hot for Teacher ending.
Yeah.
You know, kind of weird.
Yeah.
Fender Guru says, Jay, what's the first Van Halen song you could play complete? I've never learned an entire Van Halen song. Actually, hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Ain't Talking About Love.
I'll be right back.
Before when my band was first starting out in high school, we played a party, and that's the one Van Halen song that we played because the solo really isn't anything crazy.
Same with Running with the Devil.
Yeah, but I don't know if I ever learned that.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that I had those two, and you really got me. Those were the three that were automatic in the band that I was in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as guitar playing goes, and I've talked about this, you know, with Larry Mitchell and stuff, like he was the reason listening to his first album is when I convinced my parents, like, and myself, like, I want to get a guitar. But as far as like influence to play guitar, like growing up and stuff, it was always Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
But I was never able to entirely like play like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he was like the biggest influence as far as playing guitar and stuff. So I don't know, it's hard, man. It's really tough. Like Eddie has such a unique style. It's very hard to mimic that, you know?
Yeah.
What guitar did you play on? Well, in the band that I was in, I'd play on those 7 strings right there because we were like super heavy metal. Before that, I had a 6-string Ibanez RG 760, I believe it was. And it was a USA made model, and I sold it, and I want to murder myself for doing it.
This is Jay's favorite guitar that I own. This is the Ibanez RG 750 made in Japan, not as collectible as his made in USA one.
That I don't own anymore. And dude, I sold it for $300 to a guy I worked with. Ugh. Oh man. I'm getting some messages now that I don't want to get. Not your first. No, your first guitar was the EV. My first guitar that was EVH inspired. Well, I guess it would be the USA made one back there.
The Stealth.
Yeah, USA and EVH inspired. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I started playing, there was no EVH guitar, and then the Music Man came out, and that was out of my price range.
But you never had a
And
Kramer.
I really didn't like the style anyway of that guitar when it came out.
Jay, you never owned a Kramer? Back
No.
No?
Nope. Nope. I wish I can go back in time though. Because like you guys talk about Johnny and Dave, you know, they say that, you know, in the mid 90s, those Kramers were like cheap as hell. You know, even the one from like the mid 80s that were phenomenal because no one wanted to buy them anymore. Your first guitar that was EVH inspired when you were a kid. I haven't owned that many guitars. You know, I owned a piece of crap Harmony guitar that I got ripped off on. And then I had a Mexican Strat with a humbucker. And then I sold that when I got my Ibanez USA model. And then I had a blue RG 7-string that I gave my old drummer. That when I got the Mirror Pickguard Universe. And then I got the Black and Green Universe. And then the EVHs. So I haven't owned that many guitars, to be honest. So. What's Johnny doing? The show can't go on without him.
Hey.
What is,
Okay.
I love this. I love this. Strat asks, what is your least favorite song on the album? I love that question. I often ask people this all the time is like,
It's easy.
you know, like Master of Puppets, for instance, from Metallica. You know, I'm like, what's your least favorite song? Because you can't pick a favorite. It's like, if there's one song that you had to take off of an album, what would it be? And off of Master of Puppets, it's the thing that should not be, in my opinion.
No,
Huh? Damage Incorporated. Are you nuts?
No, I'm not nuts.
That's one of the best Metallica songs ever.
Oh.
Damage Incorporated. Go.
Oh man, I don't know any of that.
So what about you guys?
What are you talking about?
Love.
I just got back. I have no idea what you guys are saying.
My least favorite song on Van Halen 1?
A least
Okay.
favorite?
I got two of them.
Well, I'd say Little Dreamer doesn't do much for me.
What? That's a well-written song. All right.
No,
if I were to choose-
I'm not saying that I don't like it. You're asking.
I know. It's tough.
Like if I'm gonna pick my favorite, it's I'm the One. Next is probably On Fire, and the list goes on. But what's gonna be last on that list is Little Dreamer.
I'm going to get killed for this one. I would say either Jamie's Crying. Ice Cream Man, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to get murdered for that. Yeah.
No,
the solo alone.
Well, I mean, I really grew up with the with Ice Cream Man.
What, Johnny?
No, yeah, that was the one. That was one of the ones that I kind of played all the time. You know, like actually played on guitar. Like, you know, you're in a band at that time. Ice Cream Man is one of the ones you kind of can figure out. You know, because it's like a blues shuffle kind of thing.
Yeah, but can you? What about that solo though?
It's a good solo.
I'm talking about the stretch.
The stretch? Oh yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
That's one of the ways I warm up actually is doing that stretch. But as far as like a least favorite or like a song, if if you didn't have room, if there's a song you would take off from a playlist or whatever. I would say either Ice Cream Man, because that's one that you've heard a billion times, or maybe. Now I'm gonna get murdered. Maybe Atomic Punk. Maybe.
What? Dude, the flanger on the effing. Come on, just that alone. Probably it's one of the lamest solos on the album, though.
But I mean, we're talking songs that we've heard. Like this whole album, I could probably just play it in my head by memory and be okay, be fine.
Yep.
You know, because
it's probably one of the last
many times.
It's probably one of the last Van Halen albums I'll put on to listen to, because I've heard it, like you said. It's just, so many times you've heard it.
That's interesting what you just said there, Jay, because I probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Diver Down too, because there's so many.
Well, yeah, because it's half covers.
Yeah.
Oh, but Diver Down is great, man.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying I
could never get sick of Diver Down. Or those. I could listen to Diver Down all the way through and be cool.
No, Michael Warren said none of them suck. Haha, kick this man out. No one's saying any of it sucks.
We didn't. We just said if we were to drop one song or two off of a record.
Oh, because Fender Guru said it sucks.
Oh, okay. No, it doesn't. Come on, man. No. I mean, it has that hokiness, but that's Roth. It has that, like, that's a total Roth song when you hear those lyrics. But it's cool.
Well, even musically, it's not a totally original idea musically either.
Yeah, you're right.
Basically, it's a blues shuffle. It's not like there's literally thousands of other songs in that go the same way.
Yeah.
I know we haven't gotten into A Different Kind of Truth yet, but there's a song off that album that reminds me of Ice Cream Man.
Yes, it's
and it was kind of the same kind of Stay Frosty.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh man, they're trying to redo Ice Cream Man."
Yeah,
big time.
I remember that song actually debuted on a TV show. Do you guys remember that?
Wow. Huh.
There was some CBS, NCI or one of those programs that actually had like a club scene or something, and they had that playing in the background. Do you remember that? Do you remember that, Steve?
No, I don't remember that. But I had the same reaction though. I got it the day it came out, and right away, you go through the album, you're listening, and then Stay Frosty came on, and right away you're going, oh, it's Ice Cream Man Part 2. Yeah.
Oh, I had well, I guess we'll get into A Different Kind of Truth, I guess, or we can talk about both.
Yeah,
I remember when all the iTunes previews came out. And so I went and I recorded all those, onto a CDR. So I'm in my car listening to all the iTunes previews, and they're all like a minute. They're all a minute.
Seconds. It wasn't.
No, those previews back then were a minute 29.
Oh my God!
So you would get a minute and a half of each song. So I remember. So when the album came out, when the album finally came out, it was almost like I had heard the entire album, except within all those previews, you never heard the guitar solos. So when I downloaded A Different Kind of Truth of iTunes, the very first second it hit, I probably did listen to the whole thing all the way through, but I'd already heard everything pretty much except for the solos. So I remember that.
And then they changed it to 30 seconds, right?
The previews?
Yeah.
Well, I think they went from 30 seconds to a minute 30.
With the opposite way. I can't remember. I
It was the
don't
opposite.
remember.
Yeah, although it's been a little while since I
Philip
downloaded
Source
anything off iTunes,
Way
so
over
maybe.
the top on a different kind of truth. As far as what?
Huh?
I know the
Philip
bass
Shore
is
says
louder than the other Van Halen album.
Eddie is way over the
But
top.
Yeah,
I think he's talking about it. Just probably his playing, his guitar playing.
I don't know.
Strat says, "How do you feel A Different Kind of Truth compares to the first 6 records?"
It doesn't.
A lot of people they compare. There's the guys who never accepted, Van Hagar, never accepted those years,
Yeah.
and there's those guys that go from the first, the classic 6-pack they call it, so you go from 1984 right to A Different Kind of Truth. There's those guys who think
They just skip right over Hagar. Yep.
Yeah, they skip over the 0812, the 5150, the chronology, and all that stuff. How does it compare to the originals? Is that?
Yeah,
Well, I don't. I think
it's hard because there's different times. Like you listen to like "She's the Woman," and you can go, okay, that sounds like something from the first couple records, with the sort of fast shuffle that's involved with the riff. Like that's the time it was from. It was from the demos, was it not? The "She's the Woman," the riff.
That song was a demo.
Yeah,
it was called "She's the Woman."
Yeah, most of the music on that well, I don't want to say new album. The Different Kind of Truth are older riffs and songs.
Yeah, and then there was the one. What is it? Fire and Water, isn't it? That's Ripley, right? That was from
Blood and Fire.
Blood and Fire.
The music,
the song Ripley. But I actually like the instrumental Ripley more than I do with the Different Kind of Truth song that was on there. I liked it better as an instrumental myself because that was from the Wildlife soundtrack.
Yeah.
Or the movie The Wildlife. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So it's kind of there's parts of the album that were from different eras of the band, and then I don't know how much of it was like new riffs. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, one of my favorites off Different Kind of Truth was "You and Your Blues."
Oh yeah.
Because to me it sounded new. It didn't sound like anything that had been done anything they had pulled from an older demo or whatever, even though they probably did. Just something we never heard. But I always liked the background vocals in that because it reminded me of the classic Van Halen sound. Even though there was no Michael Anthony, it was Edward and Wolfgang together recreating that classic background, that vocal, and that's one of the reasons I dug that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be murdered for this, but I kind of consider A Different Kind of Truth like post Van Halen. To me, Van Halen ended after Balance. That's my personal feelings. Is that Van Halen ended after Balance came out? Van Halen.
What did you think of the Best of Volume 1 songs, the new ones with Roth? Have you heard those?
Like the Roth ones. I like the Roth ones more than I like the Hagar ones.
Uh-huh.
The Hagar ones were kind of corny.
As far as the new songs,
the Roth ones were
for the greatest hits.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to. I know. We like to keep everything positive. But I honestly think that I might get in a lot of trouble for saying this, but Eddie ended his own band by kicking Sammy out or making Sammy quit, whoever story you believe. In that phone call that happened in '96, that was the end of Van Halen.
Yeah, I think it was part of then they had that tour where they reunited, right? And then, like
was a
I
mess.
personally,
Mess.
I don't know what it is. I have a thing for the song "Up for Breakfast." I don't know what I like. The intro, the keyboards. It sounds like "Why Can't This Be Love," but a little bit different. And I like the riff in the song. I understand
The music's cool. Sammy's vocals are corny as all get up.
No, I understand that, but it's just overall, I like sometimes I need to hear that song because I still like it to this day. Yeah, everybody has their thing, right? Yeah. But then
here's the thing. Go ahead.
Then we were talking about earlier how Eddie was a bit messed up on the reunion tour, and like we were saying, he does this unaccompanied solo, and he he just hacked it right up, and it was it was sad to see, because in my mind it's Live Without a Net or Monsters of Rock, the first tour I ever saw, and things were like amazing and positive and fun and everything, and then just to see things go a bit to a shambles, it's pretty sad, because in your own mind you're always thinking of the good times, right? And then but that's when life goes on.
When you watch Live Without a Net and you see the love in Eddie and Sammy's eyes when they look at each other.
Oh yeah,
it's like how could that ever go wrong?
Yeah, it was even earlier when we were talking about Much Music, and like whether they were on tour in Toronto or Montreal, and the interviews and the clips of the live concerts, and even I remember their last show, it was in San Francisco, and they were on Entertainment Tonight, and they were still looked like they were having a blast, and it was so uplifting and positive, right? Especially me, I was a new fan of 5150, right? And then OU812 came out, and that was remember Black and Blue was the single, and there was a radio show on Monday nights called Rockline, and with a guy named Bob Coburn. Yeah. I listened to that. I listened to it every Monday. I didn't care who was the artist. That's how I was completely dedicated to that, right? And then I remember Black and Blue was the single, and I think Johnny has a copy of that, the Black and Blue single.
First of all, hey Dan, hey man, yeah, we're live again. We're actually talking about Van Halen this time, which we didn't do last time. Black and Blue was the first single off 0812, and you were talking about the rock line, with Van Halen. I have those on cassette.
Right.
I have the Eddie and Sammy portion of that.
Yeah.
Where Michael Anthony actually calls up. Do you have that? Have you heard that?
Yes, I do.
He actually calls up on the phone and he's talking to them. Yeah. Vintage Sounds. I'm feeling much better, although I've got a cough that just won't go away. So,
and then that rock line, sorry, Johnny, that rock line was the first time I heard the song Cabo Wabo, and I don't know what it is about that song. I mean, obviously I go to the cantina a lot over the years, and I still, if I even think about that song, I get the hair on my arms go up. It was just me, it was grade 11, and just that summer was like the greatest summer of my life, and seeing my first concert was the Monsters of Rock, and and like just last October, I went to Sammy Hagar's 70th birthday bash at the Cabo Wabo Cantina. So as much as people want to hack Sammy Hagar because they're fans of the original band, I get it. I understand the energy of the original band. But for me as a teenager, like it was all about when Sammy Hagar joined. That's when I became a fan. And I get slagged for it. But it's not like I don't like the original 6 records. I mean, I've learned all this stuff on guitar, and I've seen all the concerts ever since Monsters of Rock, even with whether it was Sammy singing or Dave singing. Been to them all, like it all. But for me personally, 5150 and OU812 like holds the highest candle for me, just because that was me in high school and sparked this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone about this a few years ago, and we agreed that it really it really depends on when you first became a fan of the stuff.
Of course,
Yeah.
And what age you were, because I was going to talk about this when Steve was just discussing about when he became a fan and everything. I guess when I got into Van Halen from my older brother, I was the perfect age where it was like the tail end, I guess, of Van Halen, and I was so young. Came out, you know, I was what, 9 years old or whatever. And I remember staring at the album cover in the hallway of my house in Illinois. And to me, I mean, I guess I prefer Sammy a little more, but I love them both. It's not like I have to pick one. I love both Van Halen and Van Hagar. I love them. I don't understand the hate for the Van Hagar. You know, I mean, it's a different, when you listen to both versions or both eras, it's a different feeling. You know, Roth had that energy of like, you know, being badass and just, you know, I don't know how to explain it, you know.
Yeah. So just what you said right there, that's the difference for everybody. Like the fans of the original band see them as full on badass, and you can't get more badass than that. So anything after that doesn't have a chance because it's already on this pedestal of badass, and you're not going to get better than that, right? So, and then when they hear "Why Can't This Be Love" or "Love Walks In,"
yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah,
you know,
so
Van Halen, the Roth era Van Halen has the attitude of like you can't mess with. You know, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah,
you know, when you listen to it, you know, when you hear, you know, when you're driving in the car with that stuff playing.
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, you know, nothing's messing with me. This is the best. But it's just a different kind of feeling you get. Like I feel happy when I listen to Hagar.
Yeah.
I feel badass when I listen to Roth. You know, but they're both great.
Yeah,
they're both great. I love them both.
Yeah, I totally get it too. You know, I said the first record I bought was 5150 in 1986. Second record I bought was the first album, you know, right after that. So I grew up on both versions of it.
So you're lucky to probably look at them both. You know, you love them both.
Yeah, to me, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. There's really no difference, even though there is. Like you were just saying, you feel one way when you listen to one, you feel one way when you listen to the other. But I totally get it for like, let's say like Jay Turner, who was around, you know, when the first album came out. I can totally get if somebody, you know, from his generation says, you know, Sammy ruined Van Halen. You know, there's nothing like, you know, the first 6 records. You know, I understand it. I get where they're coming from. You know, it's like it's like what I was saying. You know, whatever you grew up on, that's the one that you relate to.
But you're cheating yourself if you think like that. If you think that Van Hagar sucks, you're wrong.
Well, I mean, anybody who thinks like that, I mean, really, as much of a fan as you might think you are, you're really not that much of a fan if you don't love all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you love it all, then I mean, if you can accept everything, because it's all Eddie, all of it.
It's all Eddie. You're right. Yeah, but I mean, I guess, you know, tuning up a half step when, I mean, Dave, you know, when you hear it, it has that, like I said before, it has that attitude to it, you know, and Sammy brought a different vibe with his melody. And I think Eddie kind of adapted to Sammy's writing, you know, whereas everything kind of got just more positive in with Van Hagar. I mean, except I guess Balance was kind of dipping a little bit as far not songwriting, but just as far as like the feelings and everything like that. There's some deep stuff in Balance. Balance is probably, it goes 5150 in the Hagar era, 5150, and Balance and Carnal Knowledge kind of switch with me as far as my favorites, or second favorites, I should say. It's tough, you know.
Well, I mean, with a lot of bands, you know, a lot of times the lead singer is kind of the leader of the band. You know, at least publicly. You know,
Well,
and
Sammy
with Van
said,
Halen,
Sammy was when he got in the band. It was like, well, what do you want to do? And Sammy was like, okay, let's do this.
yeah.
Mhm.
So when Sammy joined, it basically became his band.
Yeah. Well,
know?
Sean Mahoney says right here, Eddie was changing his writing and intro to keyboards because every other band was copying him, and that bothered him. Eddie Trunk kind of know. People blame Sammy for Van Halen becoming more like poppy, I guess, with the keyboards and just as far as like the love songs and the choruses, the big choruses and stuff. And Eddie Trunk talks about, he's like, look at Panama. You know, look at the songs like Jump, for instance, like all the songs off of 84, you know, they were kind of going towards that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and people blame Eddie. It might have been more of like I don't know. You know, it's a slippery slope with who to blame for that. But I think it's all great. I love it all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's all great music, no matter what it is.
I don't say blame. I say thank God that 5150 turned out the way it is. No, it is because it was like for me, like for a lot of
Sammy
people.
says it.
No, it was life changing for me personally, and it is for a lot of people. Like, look how many of us talk about Live Without a Net, right? So it's just a huge influence. Yeah.
And we're still talking about it. How many years later?
32.
32 years. Oh my God.
And I finally did a Kramer 5150 replica 32 years later.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say when I finally do one, I'm not going to do it. Somebody else is going to do it for me.
Oh man, you can do it. If I could do it, anybody could do it.
I can't. I'm telling you right now, I can't do it. I'll end up messing it up real bad.
Now I got to order my next body and neck to do the Kramer 1984. That'll be the backup. But I'm doing the version from the 1984 tour where it has the 2 stars on the headstock and chrome because I'm a big fan of the chrome hardware. I'm not going to do the 1986.
Oh, me too, dude. I love the chrome hardware on every.
Yeah.
Well, certain guitars, I should say, like the all the new EVH specials, right?
Yeah.
The one that catches my eye every time is the Candy Apple one.
Yeah.
With the chrome hardware. Yeah. If that thing had vintage stainless steel frets, I would get it in a heartbeat.
Didn't the original version of the Stealth, like that's in your guitar case there, I think the original version of the Stealth, did it have black hardware or was it chrome all the way?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. The only time they made well, I'll show you real quick. And Steve will serenade you in the meantime. Yeah, the original Stealth had all black hardware, but when he made the US the signature model, it has a chrome nut and a chrome Floyd.
Yes.
I kind of like the contrast because it still has the.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So. Your favorite David Lee Roth moment live?
Jay Hannon's favorite David Lee Roth moment live is the beginning of Unchained, where Dave comes out and says, "Everybody up.
Everybody up." Yep, that's it, man. That's it. I love it. I get so pumped up. That's the thing. I look at Van Halen with Hagar and Roth as, I don't want to say 2 different bands.
Well, because that's what I say.
But it's different, and that I think that's what people have to expect or have to understand. It's 2 different things, man. Yeah, you know, Sammy couldn't be Dave, and he didn't want to be.
What I was going to say 10 minutes ago, I didn't get a chance to interject, was like David Lee Roth actually, from my perspective, like he left the band to go, like he was going to have a movie deal or something. Like for me,
well, that's the band's story, where he says that's not true. But anyway, go ahead.
in my mind, I'm going with that. And then from my perspective, it's like Sammy Hagar saved that band. Like imagine if like Sammy Hagar had never gone to 5150 just to go jam with them that
He
day.
didn't want to go.
No. Imagine if he didn't. Like, and then I heard like Eddie and Alex were talking about, oh, we might do like an all-star band, like Phil Collins on a song, maybe Billy Joel, Pete Townsend, different guy on a different song, like an all-star record. Like imagine what, like who knows what would have happened to that band if Sammy hadn't have joined, right? So for me, he like saved the whole thing.
Oh, I
agree with that.
Am I here? Yeah. If Sammy hadn't joined, if 5150 the record had never come out, it wouldn't. No. I truly believe that record is what saved the band.
Totally. Yeah.
And not just because it was the first record I bought, but it makes it extra special.
Only because it's the first record Johnny bought. That's the only reason.
Well, the first Van Halen record. You know, the actual first record I ever got was Dukes of Hazzard soundtrack. The TV show.
You're just a good old boys.
Yep. I used to listen to that.
Yeah.
But no, before I got into Van Halen, most of the records I had were like classical, like Arthur Fiedler, the Boston Pops.
Oh.
That's what I grew up on. So
you're a real musician.
A lot of that stuff, Thanks to Claudio for Sammy. Vintage Sound says.
Yeah.
We had we made a banner for the 1991 tour, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge tour in Vancouver, BC, at BC Place Stadium, huge stadium indoors. And we had a Canadian flag, and we wrote in black felt, "We love Claudio." And it made it on stage, and he held it up. Sammy did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there a bootleg? Is there a video of that? Is there a video of that show?
We'd have to try and find it, I guess. But Alice in Chains open, and Lane Staley, the day before that show, he gave himself a mohawk, and it was like spray painted green or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was he in a wheelchair when you saw them?
No.
Lane Stanley. When I saw them, he was in a wheelchair or something on stage.
Oh,
he broke his leg or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them on that tour. I saw them in Bonner Springs, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Which is online.
Bonner Spring.
I think it's called Bonner Springs. Yeah, that show's online. You can watch that one on YouTube. I was at that show, and then I was at the Omaha, Nebraska show.
Oh, right on.
For Carnal Knowledge. Actually, oh man, we forgot to talk about this earlier. But real quickly, rest in peace, Pat Torpey he was the drummer in the band Mr. Big.
Yeah.
I had met them a month before Van Halen was in Omaha. This is when I lived in Lincoln at the time. And Steve, this is back when Jeff lived in Omaha.
Right.
So we used to talk on the phone way back then. But I remember hanging out with Mr. Big like that entire day. Like they came to town because our local radio DJ, who was a friend of mine at the time, named John. His name was John the Animal Terry. He was the DJ responsible for To Be With You, to Beane on the radio. He was one of the first DJs to play that song.
Really?
So yeah. So the band, when that song became a huge hit, the band Mr. Big came to town, and they did autograph signings, at a record store. Pickles, and at a guitar store. And I skipped school that day. I hung out with them all day, hung around them, because I knew the DJ. And then Mr. Big did a show that night at the University of Lincoln, Nebraska, it was like $12. And I remember running into the drummer, Pat Torpey, that night, and running into him, and him saying, this is before I was even going to go to the show. He's like, yeah, man, come to the show. And so I went, but I remember, this relates to Van Halen playing Omaha the next month. because I remember asking Billy Sheehan, I'm like, hey, can you get me passes to Van Halen? You know, it's like my first time. I've met him many times over the years, but my first time meeting him was me asking him for Van Halen passes, and he's like, no. He's like, no, different organization, can't do it. Sorry, you know.
Or, hey Johnny, do you want my autograph? Well, no, Billy, but you can have mine.
Well, Paul Gilbert talks about that song, "To Be With You," and he says, if we would have realized it would have been a hit, we would have put it like 4th on the album, not last.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you think about it, like, yeah, you're right. You know, they put it last because they didn't think anyone would, you know, it's such a departure from what they were doing.
We talked about this last couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Last time we were on, saying that 2 of the biggest shredders out there, Paul Gilbert and Nuno Bettencourt, their biggest songs are ballads and them playing strumming acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you guys, what we were talking about, how songs matter. You know, it's all about
now.
the song.
I got to tell you something. Speaking of Nuno, right? More Than Words. Okay. If anybody has Spotify out there, type in Extreme and find the what is it? The 25th or 30, whatever the heck it is, anniversary edition. No, there's no guitars. It's like a bongos or congos version of More Than Words with just vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more vocals. There's like extra harmonies and stuff. You want to talk about goosebumps? Holy smoke!
Is it like Queen kind of thing?
No, it wasn't like overwhelming where it's like, 25 vocal tracks or anything. But it was just, Jeannie says it. Listen to it and try not to cry. I got choked up a couple times. I'm telling you right now. I got choked up a couple times listening to this thing. It's unreal. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
So anybody gets a chance out there, look up the let me see what it's called.
Was it something that was re-recorded or remixed?
No,
or
it's a
was
reissue of the album.
Maybe it was like a what do you call it? Like a B-side at the time?
The deluxe it might have been one of those things where they did it and they never put it out until the deluxe version came out. Mm-hmm. So it's called More Than Words, like acapella with congas.
Hey, Michael Smith.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
Huh.
Yes, it's really that good.
That was like Kiss, I guess, back in like before that, like 1976, when they had the Destroyer record and they had the main single was Detroit Rock City, and then someone turns it over, and then there's the song Beth, which is like a full-on like ballad, but that went like #1, right? Yeah.
Well, if you think back to Metallica with the Black Album and Nothing Else Matters, right?
Oh yeah.
They did a version with just vocals and strings with Michael Kamen.
Oh yeah.
Because when you listen to the actual song, you hear in the background,
right?
There's a whole strings,
orchestra
thing going on. And I think it was Lars or something said he saw him in like an elevator one time, and Michael Kamen was like, "You guys really didn't like the string version that I did, right? Because they had it so low in the mix." And Lars was like, "No, actually listen to this." And he handed him a cassette with a version with like just vocals and the strings.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. You can find that online. You can go on YouTube and type in Nothing Else Matters, strings or whatever.
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Michael Smith. What's up, man?
How was the show, man? I think he was at a show tonight. He went and saw. Who did you see again? He went to a concert.
There's not many concerts anymore. Concerts like 15,000 people.
Speaking of extreme, Michael, we missed out, man. Michael Smith. While we were at NAMM, we should have gone to see Extreme. It was like $30. Oh, he went and saw Eric Johnson. Cool. Well, he was at NAMM. I saw him. Yeah, Michael, we should have gone to see Extreme that night when they played. That's where everybody went. Everybody was there, and actually Michael Anthony got up on stage with them, and we missed it.
So it's pretty much the original band, except the drummer. I think the drummer went to
the drummer is not. Yeah,
but so it was probably Gary. It was Gary Sharon singing and Pat Badger on bass.
Yep. You know, people don't realize Pat Badger is the huge part of that backing vocal, almost like a Michael Anthony.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's a huge part of that backing vocal sound with Extreme.
Oh yeah.
Great voice. But I was talking when we were listening to to Porno Graffiti the other night, me and Jeannie. And I said, you know what? I was never a fan of Van Halen 3 with Sharon on vocals, but in my opinion, if Sammy doesn't come back to Van Halen, and this is a pipe dream, of course, but if I had my way, if I sold my soul to the devil, one of my wishes would be Van Halen 4, or whatever you want to call it, with Gary Sharon on vocals, but Nuno Bettencourt was the producer, because Nuno basically wrote all the vocal melodies for Extreme, you know, and he had all the harmonies, obviously. I think it would work. I think a Nuno Bettencourt produced Van Halen record with Gary Sharon would work. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
Why wouldn't we go see Extreme? I heard about it. Actually, it wasn't too late. I heard about it actually right after we saw Michael Anthony. Actually, I was talking to Jeff, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing later?" And he's like, "We're going to Extreme." And yeah, we should have gone. Should have gone. Although I'm sure a lot of it's up on YouTube now. I'm sure I can look at it. But
well, didn't Larry Mitchell play at the same time? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah. We ended up going like Sean Silas, Michael Smith, Jaden James, even Philip McKnight. Yeah, we ended up going to see Larry Mitchell at the Marriott. That's right.
I probably would have chose the same thing you chose. I probably would have went to see Larry instead of Extreme.
It was cool. It was great. It was packed. It was packed though.
Yeah, I
could barely
see. I saw a clip. It was mobbed inside that was it the Marriott or something, or the
one of the problems, man, this delay is back, man. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Well, that means it's Jay.
You want me to leave and come back?
It's okay. It sounds like okay. It's okay. ET 1550. Hey. What was I saying? Yeah, the problem with when you go to shows at the Marriott is they have a bunch of tables up front. So if you don't get one of those tables, you're stuck standing in the back somewhere, and they have guys with flashlights like constantly like flashing these flashlights on the ground, basically saying you can't stand here, keep moving. So unless you get some sort of table on the side, or you basically have to stand like on the side, because these guys continuously get you to move. And this is at the Marriott in Anaheim. Yeah. But yeah, speaking about Extreme, yeah, we should have gone to see them. But we didn't. I did see Nuno Bettencourt though. I saw him when I was just walking around. He walked right by me, and that would have been that day. That would have been earlier that day, and I didn't bother him. You know, he was by himself. He just walked right past. And that's one of the things about the NAMM show that's cool is you can see, you know, anybody and, you know, anybody walking around. Steve's going through his inside magazines.
Sorry, I was just looking for something.
I used to have all those too, man.
Oh yeah.
I used to have all those. Every one of those. Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, there he is. Jeannie, did you see? I've got a couple selfies with Nuno. Have you seen those?
Yeah, don't get her too excited.
On my page, I've got a selfie with Paul Gilbert on one side and Nuno on the other. It's on. Go to my Facebook and look at. There's some featured pictures. One of them's right there. That
If you
was.
if you could play like either one, what would you choose? Nuno or Gilbert?
Nuno.
Either one. Either one.
Yeah, Nuno's me too. Yeah.
Well, because I like the funkiness that guy has. Because that's the part of Van Halen I really like in the early days, whether it's Fair Warning stuff or like I'm the One, that funky rhythm. Like Nuno's got it, like in his own sort of way.
Well, Nuno, I think has 6 fingers on his left hand because I have the Extreme 3 tab book, and I remember looking through it when I was like, playing guitar, like years ago, and seeing some of the chords he was playing. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, he needs an extra finger on his left hand to play this stuff. So. Yeah, I mean, that's not taking anything away from Paul Gilbert because he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yep.
But I guess if I had to choose, I would choose Nuno.
Yep.
Sean Mahoney chooses Gilbert. So there you go.
I think Nuno's a bit looser. Paul Gilbert's super, super precise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish Nuno did more videos, instructional videos and stuff like Gilbert does.
Jeannie found the picture. There you go. Yeah. The selfie. I'll for those of you not on Facebook, I'll show you guys the picture. Yeah, that picture was taken was it last year?
A beardless Johnny.
So it wouldn't have been. No, it wasn't last year. It was maybe 2 years ago.
Hold on a second. Paul is like John Petrucci. Petrucci, I agree, the whole mechanical thing, but Paul Gilbert, I think, has a little more dynamics and feeling in his playing than Petrucci does. Petrucci is very mechanical and very, when you watch him play, he doesn't move a lot, whereas Gilbert, he does sit. Oh, here we go.
There you go. There's the selfie right there. Yeah, there's a couple of them, and that's one of them.
Were they hanging out together?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Actually, what happened? It happened real quick. What happened was I was walking, blurry. Basically, I was walking just down, walking down the the carpet or whatever, and Gilbert was like kind of in front of me, I guess. And basically, I see him running into Nuno, and they just start talking, And so I'm already walking that way. So I basically just walk right up to them and said, "Hey, can we, take a picture with you guys?" That's basically how it happens at NAMM. If you see anybody with pictures with anybody, either you run into them or you stand in line for 2 hours. It's either.
Which nobody wants to do. It's not a Disney World,
Either or, Although Michael Smith, he stood in line for 2 hours to get a selfie with
Warren DeMartini.
With Warren DeMartini and Jake E. Lee.
Yeah.
So he's got a selfie with both those guys together, and that was 2 weeks ago at Fender.
Yeah, Sean Mahoney mentions the Andertons interview. Are you talking about the one with Paul Gilbert? That one's good. I like that one.
So what?
Guys, sorry, what did Pat Torpy have exactly? What was the disease he had?
Parkinson's.
He had Parkinson's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wonder, like, how old would he have been? Like in his 50s, I guess?
I think he was in his 50s. I saw two different ages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One place was saying he was like 50.
Oh, okay.
50 something.
Yeah.
Another place was saying he was 60 something. And I'm like 60 something. It said he was like 60.
Yeah, that doesn't make
sense. Something. And I'm like, was he that old?
No, I
don't think he was, but I think he was definitely in his mid to late 50s.
Yeah. Right.
You know. And I know he was like a session guy too. He wasn't.
He
was a great drummer.
Yeah, he played with Robert Plant on his Now and Zen tour. He was the drummer on the tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I was working with Desmond Child, when I was at Desmond's house in his studio, one time I remember Desmond was always getting like demos from people, CDs.
Oh yeah.
All the time. And one of the ones I just happened to like, he would hand me like a pile of demos and, hey, want to listen to something? So I remember going through all these demos, and one of them was some singer or somebody, but I noticed it said drums, Pat Torpy. Like he was the drummer on the thing. And I recognized his name because of Mr. Big,
And he was the drummer with Belinda Carlisle when she was on tour back in the 80s.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Years ago, Jeannie's brother, who is my old drummer, he worked at a movie theater. And when they did this, if anybody lives in New York, they'll know what the K104 Fest is. And he came into the movie theater one day when my brother-in-law was working, and Jimmy being, hey, you're Pat Torpy. And he was like, you know who I am? He like couldn't believe it, Yeah, see it. Jeannie just said it. Didn't Jimmy see Pat Torpy at the movie theater? Yeah. There it is. And he like couldn't believe that somebody knew who he was. That's when you know somebody's not a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was cool as hell. And when you listen back to those first couple Mr. Big albums, he was great. Great drummer.
Yeah.
I saw them open for Rush in first album, 1991. Rush was on I think it was called Presto was the name of the record. But Mr. Big opened.
Well, no, that should have been that might have been the Roll the Bones tour if it was 91.
Oh, is that right? Okay, maybe.
Because Presto came out, I think, 89. And Roll the Bones, I think, was 91.
No, but I'm saying that Mr. Big's first record was in 89 or 90, right?
Yeah.
First one. Yeah.
90, I think.
Yeah. Because that Lean Into It.
Which is a great record.
Yeah, because Lean Into It was like 92, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's the thing that people don't realize is everyone wants to think of Mr. Big as like, Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert, where they don't realize how great the drummer was.
Yeah, and Eric Martin had a good voice too.
Yeah. Did Pat drum with Luke EVH Sheehan at the Becker benefit? I don't know. Fender Guru says, did any of the engineers help with Eddie's tone on Van Halen 1, or was it all Eddie? I'm thinking Templeman probably tweaked it, right? I mean, I know Eddie takes blame. Well, he says he takes blame for the fact that it was like one track straight through. You know, there was no like layering guitars and stuff like that. But I'm sure, you know, Templeman had kind of an input on a little bit of Eddie's tone. You know, I don't know for sure though.
Huh?
What would you say, Johnny?
What was the?
Fender Guru says, did any of the engineers help with Eddie's tone on Van Halen 1?
Oh yeah, Don Landy.
I would say so.
Don Landy is a big part of that, because he went on to work with Eddie all those years later. You know, Landy was like Eddie's.
Well, he was the engineer and Templeman was the producer. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, Landy and Templeman, they went back, you know, for years and years to like Little Feat and Doobie Brothers. You know, before Van Halen. Before that. But basically the 5150 studio was really, that was like Don Landy's studio. You know, he had a big part.
Well, the story of him locking himself in, what was it, the closet or something like that, and threatening to like burn the tapes or something from 5150, the album. Did you hear in Sammy's book he talks about that? It's a funny part. Oh yeah. Yep.
I think
he talks about some disagreement or whatever they had during 5150, and he locked himself in the closet. You know,
I think Mick Jones from Foreigner talks about that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he talks about something about burying the tapes in the yard, or
you know, it surprises me that he never produced Sammy after that. No, because 5150, I mean, when you look at Dreams, right, and 5150 the song, like the vocal, when you hear the demos of those songs and then the actual performance on the album, you know, like Sammy credits Mick Jones for pushing him farther, you know, at the age of 39, you know, vocally than he's ever thought he could sing. So the fact that he never produced Sammy after that is kind of puzzling to me. And I'm getting loaded, so excuse me if I'm slurring. I've had a bit too much of this tonight. Sammy's Beach Bar rum.
You can never have too much of that.
Well, when you're me, you can, because I can't handle my liquor too well. So,
gosh. ET 5050. Do you think Landy got the chop because of 0812?
Who mixed that album?
Landy.
Because the mix, that's the thinnest, most bottom lacking album from Van Halen.
Well, I mean,
Paul Floyd says. Go ahead.
Well, I mean that was kind of that was the sound of the times, though, too. You know, but do other rock albums back then do they sound like that at all?
Yeah, like Metallica and Justice for All, that came out the summer after that. I think it was also.
Well, hold on a second, because that was more of a band decision. Well, Lars Ulrich decision is to have the bass guitar turned down so much, but the kick drum and the guitars have so much bass in them where it makes up. Whereas 0812, like I know when Balance came out, Michael Anthony was in an interview saying that they're actually in thinking about remixing 0812.
Yeah.
So
I think Johnny said that there's Japanese versions of 5150.
They remastered.
Yeah. I haven't heard those.
Go on YouTube. They're there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would like to hear those. But yeah, when you listen to any of the, like, let's say like When It's Love off the Best of Both Worlds,
Mhm.
you can hear a major difference.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
like
like clearer.
the whole track is totally beefed up.
Yep.
But as far as 0812 though, and the sound, the production, I mean, that was, 1988, 87, 88 was a huge year for dance, for pop dance music.
Yeah.
And so, you know, some of the songs off that, feel so good, totally fit into to that. Actually, Steve, maybe you've heard this. There's actually like a dance mix of Finish What You Started. You ever heard
Really?
that? You ever heard that?
No.
With keyboards? It has
No.
keyboards and stuff. You've never heard that?
Wow.
There's a dance mix of that. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but yeah, the main instrument in that is like keyboard riffs.
Huh. Yeah. I remember the Scorpions record, Savage Amusement too, also had a thin bass sound on it. So like Johnny was saying, it's kind of the sound of the times.
Yeah, it's more of like a pop, like
Yeah.
a pop record kind of sound.
Yeah.
Although
I think it's my least favorite sounding Van Halen record.
Yeah.
I would say back then, well, it never bothered me.
No, me neither.
I never had a problem with it. Although, I have the vinyl of 0812, and I had a record player back then, and when I would put that record on, I would notice that it was extra thin, extra thin sounding, but still cool.
Yep.
Never had a problem,
Oh, it's it's the album when you hear it. It's like, oh yeah, that's 0812. So I mean, I get that. It sounds like the album, but there's no cojones to it,
Mm-hmm. But like what I was saying, when you listen to Best of Both Worlds and you listen to When It's Love and Finish What You Started, or whatever hits were off there, they're totally beefed up. They sound way heavier than the actual version. But what are we? We're 10 minutes till midnight out here.
Okay, A Different Kind of Truth. Favorite song.
So real quick, yeah, we should talk about that a little bit.
I'm going to start, and I'm going to say She's the Woman is my favorite song off of Different Kind of Truth. And I'd say after that,
2-piece.
Yeah. And then for fun, Stay Frosty.
Oh.
I like the lyrics. It's fun. It's my opinion, and I'm sticking to
it. It's Dave Roth trying to be David Lee Roth. That's how I look at it. But
she's the wombat.
Yeah, Jeannie says that whenever she listens to that song, it sounds like they're singing, "She's the wombat." She's the wombat.
Whoa.
What is that?
Somebody speeding away.
So, Jay, what's your number one pick for A Different Kind of Truth?
Hold on, let me pull up the track listing.
Tattoo is song number one.
Say that again.
Is Tattoo song number one?
Oh God, That's a song that never should have been recorded.
No, I'm saying that's the first song on the track listing.
Yeah, but it should be deleted from the track listing. I guess. That would be Chinatown or As Is are my two favorites on that album, because As Is has like the heaviest guitar tone, and I know the heavy. Still look at your foot.
I didn't even notice. Was he
I
wearing
know
shorts?
the heavy guitar tone has a lot to do with the bass tone.
No.
And the bass tone on A Different Kind of Truth is like the heaviest of any Van Halen album, you know. But I guess Chinatown or As Is are my two favorites. Yeah, no more rum for me. I agree.
Johnny, do you have a favorite off of A Different Kind of Truth?
Yeah. I've always loved You and Your Blues.
Right.
I've always really dug that song, like I was saying earlier. Because hey, Nick Thompson, hey man, thank you again for the tea, man. I've been drinking that.
He's almost out.
Send him another box.
Yeah.
You and Your Blues, it has a great intro to that. Like I was saying, the background vocals are cool because it reminds me of the classic Van Halen background vocal sound, but with Wolfgang and Edward. Let's see. So that's one of my favorite tunes. When I first heard Tattoo, I thought it was cool because I grew up on the live version of the original song of that.
Right.
Which would have been what was it? What was the original song of that called? Tattoo. It was let me think. Oh, it was called Down in Flames.
Oh yeah.
That's what the actual look up Van Halen Down in Flames. You'll only come across live versions of it from 77, 7. I think they might have played it on the 78 tour as well, like once in a while. That music became Tattoo. So I remember thinking that was really cool when I first heard that. It's all good. What? It's all good stuff. But actually, somebody sent me years ago. Somebody sent me like a bunch of tracks from that album, but they were like different mixes.
Yeah. So
like of the songs.
Yeah. So for everybody out there, I'm going to read the Van Halen typical set list for 1970.
In other words, he wasn't paying attention to you.
No.
I wasn't even done.
No.
I was about to say something really cool. And
typical set list, 1978. First song, Johnny's favorite song for Van Halen first album, On Fire. So think about this. Johnny's favorite song starts the set list, and then my song, I'm the One, is the second song. I mean, just right there. Those two songs, I'm good. I can leave. I'm fine. On Fire, I'm the One. Then you got the bass. Yeah. Then you got the bass solo. Then you got Running with the Devil, Feel Your Love Tonight, Atomic Punk, drum solo. Down in Flames was a song that was played rarely.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I was just saying. So
Exactly.
yeah, so Down in Flames.
If you would have listened till the end.
Yeah. And then a song called Bullet Head.
Yeah,
that-
that's another one. Bullethead. Yeah, that actually became a song off that record too, called Bullethead.
And then a song called Last Night.
Which became what?
I don't know.
Last Night became Hang 'em High.
Oh, wow. There you go. Second half of the set was Little Dreamer. Then Somebody Get Me a Doctor, even though it hadn't been on, like Van Halen 2 wasn't even out yet. Yeah.
Oh,
Ain't
wow.
Talking About Love, Ice Cream Man, then Voodoo Queen,
Which became
Mean Street.
Mhm.
Yeah. Guitar solo, You Really Got Me, Dead or Alive, of course, off of Van Halen 2. And Bottoms Up sometimes was the last song of the encore. Yeah. Typical set list. First tour.
Yes. So what I was going to say, which I probably shouldn't even say this.
Yeah, you should.
But somebody sent me some tracks from A Different Kind of Truth, but they're different mixes.
Oh, really?
You know my email address.
They're different mixes, and like some of the songs are longer.
Huh.
So like let's say, and some of the songs have like different like vocal performances. Like there's one song that Roth is singing, and it's different lyrics, and he's like dropping the F-bomb and stuff. I'll tell you which song it was. I can't remember, but I'll tell you though that there's a version of there's a longer mix of You and Your Blues.
Oh, wow.
That actually has like a whole extended like bass solo at the end of the song.
Cool.
With Wolfgang playing leads on the bass. Yeah. Cool. There's that, and then there's Tattoo, which actually goes on for like maybe like another minute. The very end.
Oh God,
that would kill Jay.
Damn my ears out for that one.
Tattoo. Oh no.
I want an alternate performance of the album without Tattoo on it. That's what I want.
Is it Tattoo? Is it? Wait, let me think. Yeah. Is it? Wait. I'm trying. Was it You and Your Blues? One of them.
I would hope You and Your Blues.
One of them, the song like keeps going. No, it's Tattoo. The original ending of Tattoo, actually, is Eddie picking above the nut on the guitar. Like Steve can do it real quick. Like pick like a couple. Yeah, that's the end of Tattoo. Right there, actually.
Wow.
He picks and then does the whammy
part.
bar. You know. Yeah, somebody sent me the stuff like years ago. Somebody sent me the stuff, and they're like, "Johnny, check this out." Yeah, and it's longer versions of a bunch of the songs. Yeah, Jay Turner. Yeah, I played you the stuff in the car. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, see, if you guys come and visit me, I'll play you guys some cool stuff in the car.
So what did you think of the live album they came out with a few years ago?
I liked it.
The
Live in Tokyo.
Live in Tokyo. I thought it was cool. I mean, it you know, like we were saying, you know, you remember when you first buy, you know, a record, like the first time you hear it, you remember exactly where you were or whatever, you know. That album came out right when I was moving here to Santa Cruz. So my memory of that album is playing it, driving back and forth from here to Walnut Creek when I first moved here, you know.
Yeah,
my favorite part of the whole thing is Dave yelling, "Edward Van Halen!" His voice cracking after the solo. I think I have it on my phone, actually. I think I saved it.
Oh my goodness.
My moment of that was just the live version of Hear About It Later. It's a real favorite of mine from Fair Warning. So to have a live version of that and then seeing them play it live. I saw them in Las Vegas on that last tour. And yeah, it was awesome to hear About It Later. They played it. But again, David Lee Roth was swearing, using the F word like a lot during the concert in Vegas. I don't know. He was yelling at somebody in the crowd or whatever, but he was just rambling all the time and kept using F-bombs. And yeah, it's kind of strange.
You guys hear that?
Yes.
And there's this one.
What are those, your ringtones?
Yeah.
Like when
I
Eddie
get
calls
sued.
you, that's the ringtone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know exactly who it is. What was I gonna say? Oh no!
I didn't mean that. I was trying to find something else. I know it's gonna be that loud.
What the?
That was Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. I apologize. Oh man. So somebody wanted to see your guitar again. Put it away, I guess.
Which one?
Your 5150.
Oh yeah.
Just throw it against the wall. That's a good way to relic it.
Steve, are those guitars? Do they always sit right there, like against that chair?
Yeah, there's about 10 guitars here, Johnny. I put them there for the show, and then I got a den. That's where my Marshall is, and all my effects that I play through. So that's in my den, and I got about another 15 guitars in there. And
dude,
wow!
I gotta say that they hold on. Say something, Steve.
Oh, hi. How's it going, John? Jay? How are you?
You have a black, looks like a black something, and a white Kramer.
Yeah.
On the couch. Looks like a double neck, but it's not, right?
No.
Or is it?
There's no double neck.
Dude, that looks so cool. Do you see that, Johnny?
Yeah, it looks like a Farrington.
Yeah, there's a Farrington there.
That's the acoustic that Eddie played the intro to Dreams on the record. That's what he used.
Yeah.
The Kramer electric acoustic.
Yep. So this is the Music Craft, my first build ever. Yeah, inspired by Johnny Beane's show, and yeah, we've got exact match replica paint, Schwinn bike paint. No messing around. I went for the original stuff, white, sunset orange, and black, and yeah, I worked really hard at getting the lines pretty close. And a company called K&E Guitars sent me the wrong stickers. These are the right stickers off from the EVH line. That's from the EVH gear stickers are on here. But K&E sent me ones with the prisms were too small. It looks like the 1984 stickers. But go ahead, Johnny.
I'm glad to see you got the zero raised up.
Yes.
It's good. That's good to see.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that.
Yeah, and I got the little strip of electrical tape here for the output jack, and yeah, little subtle things I'm doing. Here's the headstock. I just put a string tree in there. to look like Eddie's. And I got a string retainer from actually a 1983 Kramer Pacer part that I got. Everyone, I know Rob Johnson yells about, oh, if you're going to do a replica, you got to have a, like, it's all sort of circular on the ends and above it, because normal Floyd Rose R2 nuts, when they give you the string retainer, it's kind of just flat on the top, but to be sort of accurate for the period, you got to have the one that's sort of rounded. These are Gatto 90-degree tuners from back in the 80s. So, you know, I got selective parts to get it right. And finally tonight, Dave Nesdall, I can't even believe it, you know, for a guy I've actually never met in person. This is an 84.
None of us have.
This is an 84 Floyd.
None of us ever will.
Yeah, this is an 84 Floyd, but as many of you know, for these replicas, you want to have a whale tail Floyd. So hopefully through one of Dave's buddies, they're going to get me a whale tail Floyd, which is what was originally on Eddie's Kramer 5150. So that's sort of, I think that's a big separator in all these replicas. If you can get the whale tail Floyd on one of these, that sort of puts you on the next echelon of these replicas, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But yeah, because I think there was only 200 or 250 of those made back in 1983. So to get one's pretty rare. So yeah, here's the back. So this has the 37 millimeter block in it.
Yeah,
the
man.
84 Floyd, and skunk stripe on the neck, and yeah, the Floyd Rose is screwed in from the back here, like Ed's was. So I got like pretty close, and I think it looks cool. Like, here it is. This is brand new, like when it was handed to Ed. And as far as
it looks great, man. It looks
no,
great.
no. As far as relicking and stuff, I got to make a choice. Do I start doing it like cigarette burns and start digging into it, or you know what? Like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be playing this thing all the time. So eventually things are gonna wear out, and they're gonna be my marks. So, and I can always make.
So is there any chance? Is there any chance that you would do? Why don't you make two of them? Make one that is new 5150, and then maybe make a relic one. A relic, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And like all my guitars, you know what? Like if I have an EVH Circles guitar, I've got the EVH red with black and white stripe. I've got the Charvel EVH Art Series Bumblebee, and then I got a red and black and white stripe EVH Art Series. I sort of have two of everything. So to be honest,
so how does that neck feel? I know I asked you this before, but for everybody that hasn't seen it, but the neck compared to the EVH 5150, what is it? How does it feel different?
So this is an R2 nut. So it's a little bit narrower at the nut. So I guess like we call them the country chords up here at the second fret, right? So it's just, this is an R2 nut, and the EVH stripe series,
the R3, for some weird reason,
it's an R3. Like, it's a bit wider, and I'm not just saying it because like Ed's was an R2, but I'm just being honest because I played Fender Strats like when I'm in bands, and that's an R2. So that's what I'm used to that. So whether it's the Circles guitar or the 5150 from EVH brand, it's just wider, and I can feel the difference. And I'll be honest with everyone, like, forget about all the stripes and doing all the thing. Just for me in general, if you like shut your eyes and play guitar, like, it's all about the feel of the neck for me. So, and this feels right to me, is the R2 nut. I mean, you can have R4, you can have R5, like 1 3/4 inches wide. But for me personally, it's all about the R2. This is very much like a Fender Strat. And this Musicraft neck, like, they base it off of Ed's Ernie Ball.
Yeah, the Ernie Ball, which is basically computer whatever off of the 5150 neck, the original. So
and
it's as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah, and everybody out there, like Musicraft, they're actually licensed by Fender. Like, if I took the neck off, it has it stamped right on there, and on their website too. So it made me more comfortable about buying the body and neck from them, because it's kind of a licensed thing, and they really try to match the feel, and it feels awesome. And Yeah, like even the Ibanez here, it's a wider neck but super thin. I
Yeah.
know Jay's a big fan of the
Yeah, I like
Ibanez.
the thin necks. Yep.
But after years and years of playing, I gotta feel like some wood on the back of the neck. But this one, yeah, it's number one, man.
So
Yeah.
so Ty Z says the Musicraft neck doesn't feel anything like the Music Man neck, though, honestly. And I've kind of heard that it is slightly different, but I guess that's the closest you're gonna get without actually. I mean, Johnny would know this more than anybody, right? Because you have a Music Man 92, you know.
Yeah. But then Johnny has said he hasn't played a Musicraft neck before either. So yeah.
Well, Ty Z says he has. He
Yeah.
said the Musicraft is a little chunky.
And yeah, no, he's probably right. But I'm just saying, for me, like playing the Musicraft or playing one of the EVH Art Series guitars, which is an R2, or my Fender Strats, both of them are an R2. They all just feel comfortable. And then like what I've talked about with Johnny with the Fender Strats, the volume knob is so close to the trem, I always knock it. So when I played live at a house party or whatever, I'd always have to tape the volume knob down because I'd always whack it to a lower register. So yeah.
Yeah.
Little things on guitars that aren't quite right.
Yeah. Hey, David Ennis. Hey, man. David Ennis, check your mailbox, man. Check your mailbox in a couple days.
So which one has the jumbos? Because Ty Z says, and it has jumbo frets versus vintage, and no oil finish.
Yeah, it has jumbo frets. Basically all my guitars do. Yeah.
See, I guess if I were to get the Music Man or the Musicraft build,
yeah,
I would either choose like medium frets or vintage frets over the jumbos because I can't get into jumbos, man. Can't do it.
Yeah. No, that's like me with a Les Paul. I couldn't play a Les Paul. It just seemed like when I played past the 12th fret, my fingers wouldn't fit in between the frets. So that's why a Fender or a Les Paul, I just never even considered it because I played one and it just didn't fit right for me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about Jumbo's clown room? I mean, as far as Jay Turner, good night, man. Yeah, because a lot of people have said for years and years and years that the Ernie Ball Music Man EVH neck is a direct copy of the 5150 Kramer neck. And I've heard that story for however long we've all heard.
Well, Eddie basically said it though, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically said I think he said the Ernie Ball neck was a copy of his favorite neck.
Yeah.
Which could have been the Frankenstein neck.
I was under the impression that there was something to do with behind the 4th fret. There was some indentation or something that was on the Kramer 5150. So then all of a sudden it was on the Ernie Ball Music Man.
So Steve, you notice anything behind that 4th fret area on your Musicraft?
No.
Well, for me, real quickly, the one thing that I've always wondered about that entire thing is the Ernie Ball neck is very small. Very, very tiny. And I've never played a Kramer guitar with a neck that small. Never. Even if you look at the Kramer 5150 neck, even if you look at that neck, the neck looks bigger than what the Ernie Ball is.
Yeah.
So you think it's quite possible that wasn't scanned from the 5150, it was scanned from something else. That's what you're saying?
It's possible. It's possible.
Wow.
I don't know. I'll tell you guys something off air. Although it would be very cool for me to say it now.
I can't wait till the show ends. I can't wait. See you guys later.
We should have ended 15 minutes ago, but I'll tell you guys once. Remind me to tell you guys something having to do with something like this. But so I don't know. I've always questioned the Ernie Ball and the Kramer 1550 the relationship between the two, because like I was saying, the Ernie Ball neck is so tiny, and every Kramer guitar, I do know that the 1550 Kramer is nothing like a store bought Kramer. We all know that.
Yeah.
But I've never played. Let me just say, I've never played another neck that's as tiny as the Music Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And I mean, it's in that bag right there. I've played that guitar since '92. I know the Ernie Ball neck better than, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I know that neck like better than anything.
Because Eddie's never said it was the 5150 neck. He just said off of a favorite neck of mine, right?
I think it was always a favorite neck.
Yeah.
And
because I'd go the other way on that. I thought I had read that it was. I'll have to look back at the interviews when the Music Man just came out, and I'll dig back this weekend and see, because I thought it was based off the Kramer 5150. Now it could be just like they talk about the neck profile on the back, like whether it's C-shaped, V-shaped, or whatever. Maybe it was kind of the same profile, but Johnny's saying that the neck just felt sort of shorter than a Kramer, but
it's tiny.
Yeah,
it's literally it's like this big. I'm not kidding. It's so small.
So the spacing of the frets was smaller then, in between.
No, he's talking about.
I mean just the back of the neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back of the neck. And Tyzee says yes, it's very small. The Musicraft neck is thicker than the EVH. It's tiny. Yeah, because everybody's under the influence that it's based off of the Kramer, the 5150.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I got to look at the old interviews from like 91 and 92 when the Ernie Ball just had come out, because I thought it.
Yeah, because you would think that Eddie would want that guitar feeling like the neck of the 51, and that's what I thought. Ernie Ball did was take his 5150, and scan the neck.
Yeah, I'll just have to look back at the old magazines and see.
I mean, it's possible, but the.
Do you feel something behind the fourth fret? Is it a little more kind of like, worn out or worn in, I should say?
Well, for me, behind
you're going to excite some people by doing that, man.
I still have NAMM thorax, you guys. Unk says the 5150 was scanned for the Music Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I mean, if I were to believe anybody, it would be him.
Yeah, but he wasn't around back then, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows? Although it's possible. I mean, well, Unk was the one that did make the original 5150 neck, so yeah.
I mean, you would think it would be made after that neck, because, I mean, Eddie used that for how, that was his guitar.
Yeah, 84 to like 90. Yeah.
Which now wasn't even that long. It wasn't even that long. You think about it now.
When you think about it, yeah.
Three albums, 3 tours.
Which is what, 3 years?
In 1978, yes.
Although, I don't know. I mean, it's just such a small neck, man. I know you guys can't feel this, but I mean, you look at it.
I would love to.
It's just so tiny. You know?
How
And
worn out
dirty.
the frets are too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mine is. Yeah.
Not the frets, but like the wood.
That used to be the same color.
Yeah.
That used to be the same color right there.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Sweating miles.
Oh yeah, this is my main guitar for a lot of years, man.
So it just needs a fret job?
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
You want to sell that?
You box up that alien, he might think about it.
Hey, Larry Mitchell noticed the alien. That was pretty cool.
A Fender Guru, the AX40, is not the same. None of the Access guitars are the same as this.
You know, I saw a video with Mully, and he was saying the opposite. I don't know which model it was, but he was saying that the whatever model Ernie Ball is basically the exact same thing without the signature. And I didn't know that. I don't want to get in the argument. I don't want to get in the middle of it, but you know,
he's talking about
saying,
the Japanese version. The what are they called? Yeah, Mully has one.
Yeah.
What's the one called OLP? What's that?
The OLP was the what does that stand for? Officially licensed product.
Oh, okay.
Was it? It was just like a cheaper version of these things. And yeah, the only thing similar aside from the is it the EX, the Japanese version, the Axis EX? Okay, supposedly those are the same as these. The Japanese.
So that must have been what Mully was talking about.
Yeah. But as far as the Axis, as far as the guitar that came out after these, you know, anything that says Axis on it, they're very different. You know, the Axis versions have like a contour right here, whereas this is just all flat.
Yeah.
You know, but they had a contour here, and then the necks on the Axis, they start similar, but they get bigger as you go, like wider. Which
why would they do that?
Huh?
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I mean, these do as well, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
You know?
So Steve, is that still your favorite guitar that you own, even though you have the 5150 now?
No, the 5150 is my favorite one. The one I built. That'd be my favorite guitar. Yeah.
Because I see you still go back to that one every time.
Yep, because I haven't hooked up the electronics on the 5150 I just built. I just put the stickers on the other night, so I got to hook up get the soldering iron out and get the electronics hooked up. So this one still plugs in, yeah, I can't wait to get the new accessory pack with the screw eyes and the proper
How do you say it?
What is eye bolts? Screw eye bolts?
No, you gotta sing it.
What's the official name?
Oh, you know that. I don't know that.
I don't know that either.
I don't even know it.
I'm just interested to see if the eye bolts are going to be exactly the same as these Home Depot number 6 we've been yelling about for 2 years.
So we're talking about the official EVH snap hook guitar strap lock clasp set.
Wow.
Say that again.
It rolls off the tongue.
No,
EVH. The
EVH.
snap hook. Snap hook guitar strap lock clasp set.
Oh God, I still can't remember it.
There's I know it's upside down, but that's
and to make it more difficult, it's upside down. Yeah.
Well, it's because of my picture, but yeah, that's a picture I took. But yeah, that's the
snap,
actual
hook guitar strap. something something set.
And I'm gonna need 8 of those. Yeah.
There it is. There it is, right there.
The packaging is the coolest part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be getting 8 of those right away as soon as they're available.
Because, you know, when Nesdal installed my I'm gonna knock stuff over. I'm gonna puncture my my monitors here. But when I'll do the backside. How about that? When he installed my mine, he put the washers in.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of hides the when you chip the paint, I guess when you screw these in. But these things are tight, man. I can't even move them. Jeez. But
Right on.
yeah, see the washers are in there, which is fine. You know, it's all fine and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
Right
that guitar looks good, man.
Yeah, it's one of
it
a
looks
kind.
great with the maple neck.
So what's the deal with that? The body's Japanese, but the neck's Chinese, or what's the deal?
No, the body's Mexican.
Oh, okay.
And I think Caleb Rappaport came up with the great name. He called it a what did he say it was? Because I was like trying to combine like, you know, Chinese and Mexico or Mexican.
The China can?
It was something like that. Yeah, China can or something like that. And it was great.
I like China can. That's cool.
But dude, all you got to do is like this, tap on, right?
Yeah.
And I feel the body just resonate and vibrate. This guitar is so like these necks, the neck and the body combined, like they match so much more than the Mexican neck and the Mexican body. Like this neck and this body, just it's something. It's amazing. They're so.
Yeah. And you can thank the host Johnny Beane for, you know, changing your mindset. You can take a body, grab a neck, put it together, and you've got a one of a kind. I bet you haven't seen anybody else with that combination.
Well, I want to put a zebra in the. Oh, Steve, I don't want to see your toes, dude.
Sorry, man.
I'm just busting your balls, dude. I was thinking about a different pickup, you know. So just zebra in the neck, you know.
Yeah.
You're playing usually, you know, you're covering that bridge pickup anyway, so you can't see it. So if you do a zebra in the neck, you know, that's a very unique guitar right there, you know. So.
Yeah, I think that guitar would look better with either zebra pickups or a zebra in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
More changes, more customizing.
Look at that! Look at that big ass.
Yeah.
So, but this neck feels so good, man.
Yep. Custom.
Yep. And they got the stainless steel vintage frets, which I wish to God that they would do again, because I would buy all the specials. But until they do, not doing it. Mad Dog wants to know how much the EVH hooks are going to cost. I think it's $30, right? Is the actually
you get the screw eye bolt, and then you get the dog clasp for the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 30? They told me. I remember they looked it up when I was there. I asked them how much they were, and they looked it up on their little like iPad thing, and
yeah,
I'm thinking it was like $29.99 or
yeah, I think it was something like, which is fine. I mean, I get it. You know, I want to have the exact same thing that is on my USA one. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
The exact same, the same clasps, you know, which, you know, a lot of people are complaining because, you know, you can go and get get them from the store for
$2.
or whatever, but they're
Yeah.
not the same.
No, that's
You-
like these. Mine are rounded, like where the leather strap hooks around it. Mine are rounded here. I just went to the hardware store down the road, and but it should be like straight across, and that's what those sort of brass ones, I guess, Eddie's are.
What you mean? The actual
Yeah, mine's
like
rounded,
that
Jay.
part?
Yeah, I couldn't find those
Oh,
separately. Mine's rounded.
okay.
Yeah. So it's cool that
Does
he
the
did
same
it.
thing. Does the same thing.
Oh yeah. No, it's cool that he's offering that. And we've got the new EL, what is it, the EL34-3 or whatever, the micro stack, like this guy here. But we get the new one, which I like better, which is the black with the gold trim. I like better than this ivory one. So I'll be getting that as well.
Mhm. That one,
Little micro stack. Yeah, I'll be getting that.
that one right there.
Yeah, I'll be getting that.
There you go.
What the hell's going on down in the chat here? I'm trying to see what happened. But as far as the little micro amps and stuff like that, I want to see Eddie come out with something competing with the Katana or the Yamaha. You know, something that's actually decent.
Got some guts, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of effects and stuff like that, and you know.
Well, you could always
But-
maybe try the 5150 overdrive pedal before you go into the little stack there.
Well, no, but this little Yamaha, man, it's great. You know.
There it is. Johnny's got it. Yeah.
Thank you again, Michael Smith. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Have you tried that yet?
Yes,
Okay, good.
I did.
You're full of it.
Well,
No.
he tried another one when it first came out at a guitar shop or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was one of the first ones to record demos of that thing like a couple years ago when it first came out. I did a bunch of videos with this pedal, you know. But no, I plugged it in. I was using it. I'm building my pedal board right now, you know, for the gig. You know, I've got
How about
I've got
Pedalsmith?
this. I've got that.
Oh wow!
I've got a bunch of exciting stuff here to throw on the board, you know.
Well, the
I'm
Echoplex
excited.
is killer.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, yes.
Johnny, do you use a phaser at all, like the Phase 90 at all?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to use it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. Oh.
Actually, when you get your Mayfire CD in the mail, the
Yes,
list,
sir.
when you get
$30 shipping.
you'll hear a song on that album called The List. Actually, that's one of the songs.
Yeah.
And live during the verses of that song, I used a Phase 90.
Cool.
That's what I used for
Right
the
on.
verses, for the guitar.
Right.
Like, imagine a Phase 90 turned all the way up. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey Jay, how do you spell your band's name? The band used to be in Gizmachi. How do you spell that?
METALLICA.
What are you talking about? It starts with a G, doesn't it?
No, that's funny. I thought that was funny. Metallica? Yeah. GIZMACHI. Simon Williams
Fun.
wants to know, is that the neck you transferred from the one you bought recently? Yeah, this is the original neck that was on that guitar over there. See? Made in Mexico. And this has the regular frets on, jumbos. And don't get me wrong, it was still a great neck. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I just prefer the smaller frets. So. All right, so now everyone's away. So it's just me. I'm going to try to break this fretboard and this neck in half right now. Anyone got any good questions about anything? While those guys are away, we can have some fun here. Hey, Fender Guru. No, Johnny, get out.
Everybody left.
We're about to have some fun. In the neck. Well, the EVH Wolfgang fit the stripe series. I'm assuming the Mad Dog is referring to the neck. Johnny,
No.
you'll know this more than I will.
Not one.
Okay, there you go. Apollo Rocker wants to know if I'm going to sell the special neck. If anybody gets this, it's going to be Mr. Johnny Beane. So
I need one.
I know you do.
I've got a body. I've got a Wolfgang body I've had for a year. It's been a year now since with a Floyd. Nobody has seen it. I refuse to show it off until I actually have the thing built.
Well,
yeah.
I unboxed this because Johnny, when I talked to you last night about this guitar right here, I think, Steve, I'm going to have to take this neck off.
Yep.
And sand down the neck joint, the heel of this neck a little bit.
You had to?
The action was so low.
Oh.
Where I had to raise the damn bridge so high, and the strings are so far from the pickups.
Huh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, the action's fine right now. It's really close, but the bridge is so far away where the thickness of the neck, I think, is a little too much. So I got to sand it down a little bit.
Wow.
So if I ruin this guitar and ruin this neck, you'll be the first to find out.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Was that last night?
Yeah, that was last
or night before now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay and I, we were in a private call Thursday night talking about that. And I was telling him how he's going to have to shave the back of that, back of where the neck plugs in. You know,
Jay, are you doing that yourself, or are you taking it to somebody?
You know, I was going to take it to somebody, but I was reading up on some stuff last night, and I bought a sanding block.
Yes.
And some sandpaper, and I think I'll be able to do it. Yeah, I'm going to try it myself, and if I ruin it,
he got really excited about that sanding block.
Yeah.
No, I am, because I just love the fact that he's like being all customized guy now all of a sudden. And he's going to have the confidence one day to do his own entire build.
Well, if I ruin this, I'll never do anything myself again.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe we.
Can you gent? Sorry.
Can you?
Oh man.
Michael Smith. Yes. Yes. Ah, that echoes back. Yeah, Michael. I'm gonna be putting in the Wolfgang that I'm building. I'll be using a Sean Silas pot. One of these. Yes.
Oh, those are two different sizes?
No, they're the same.
Oh, they're
So
the same.
those are normal friction, right?
I have two of them.
Normal friction.
I think so. Yeah. I think.
Huh. Cool.
I have a question, Jay. What is your favorite Van Halen song? I would say from each era, if I were to choose a Hagar and a Roth song, 5150, the song, is my favorite Van Halen song overall. My favorite Roth song would probably be oh man, that's tough. It would be what I can't play right now. Too much rum, man. I can't.
Girl Gone Bad.
What's that?
Girl Gone
Girl
Bad.
Gone Bad.
How about real quickly? Each of us pick your favorite Van Halen song off each record.
Wow.
Can we do that?
Oh man.
Real
Yeah.
quick? Like,
Yeah.
think of each
We're gonna be
album.
live
Think-
for another 3 hours. If you
real quick.
Do we each go like I'm gonna pick the song from the first record and each guy goes and then I go for the second
Yeah.
record, each
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
goes? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first record, I'm the one.
For me, on Fire.
is Eruption included?
Yes.
Eruption.
Okay. All right. Van Halen 2.
Somebody get me a doctor.
Oh, is it my turn?
God, you
Is
guys are
Jay
killing me.
is Jay gonna pick all the guitar solos? Is he
No,
gonna say
no.
Spanish Fly?
No.
Is that what he's drinking? Let's see. Van Halen 2, real quickly. I would say You're No Good.
Huh, a cover song. Interesting.
Well, you ever heard the Ronstadt version?
Yep.
Sounds nothing like it.
No.
Oh, Jay's looking to see what songs.
I'm just going. I'm like, man, it's so tough.
I don't need a stinking list.
Bottoms Up.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Women
right.
and Children first. I am going with Everybody Wants Some. Hands down winner. Thank you.
Oh, I would say oh man, there's so many good ones. Dang it. I would say Cradle.
I know. Take Your Whiskey Home.
Wow.
Oh.
Yo, yeah.
There's
Oh,
no,
God.
there on that record, there's no losers. That record,
Yeah.
man. All right.
Fair warning.
Fair warning.
I'm going Mean Street. Fair warning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Without even
Oh,
looking
man.
at the track listing right now, it's Mean Street. It's hands down.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say they're all good, but Sunday Afternoon in the Park for me.
What?
Yeah.
I love it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but is that like really a song?
Yes,
know?
of course.
I can't argue. But you know,
Yeah. Okay. So what's after that?
Diver Down. I am picking The Full Bug.
Diver Down. Secrets. Oh no. You can't
I know,
play
I'm
that.
trying to pause
You can't play that
I
on.
know. I'm trying
But you're picking that one.
yeah, I think I'm with yeah, Full Bug.
84.
Like you have right now, the full Namthrax bug.
Favorite song from 1984 is Drop Dead Legs.
Oh man, 84.
Girl Gone Bad.
I'm gonna say I'll Wait.
Nice.
Who co-wrote that song again?
Michael McDonald
There you go. Look at that.
from Doobies. Yeah. That's a Templeman Landy production.
Yep.
All right, so 5150.
5150.
150, the song.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Ah,
Mad Dog
I'm
Ice Cream Man.
I'm gonna say Dreams.
That's the best vocal performance on any Van Halen album, top to bottom, is Dreams.
Oh, that's the
I
best
agree with
vocal
that.
Hagar ever did in his life was Dreams.
Yes. Yep. And even he admits it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, one too.
Cabo Wabo.
I'm gonna
Johnny,
say
you go first.
oh, there's so many good ones. I'm gonna say When Is Love. You can pick it too.
Actually, it's always between like AFU and Mine All Mine, even though Mine All Mine's a keyboard song, but for some reason, the vocals in that song are some of the deepest Hagar vocals to me. One of the last lines in the song before the final chorus, so I'm going to choose Mine All Mine for that. Even though it's a keyboard song, I'm going to choose that one. Mine All Mine, which is nuts.
No, that's a great one, man.
Yep. It really is.
I mean,
and that was when I saw them in 1993 at the Orange County Speedway in Middletown, New York. They opened with that song, and I was like, "Holy crap!" It was great.
That's one of the reasons why the Right Here, Right Now tour is so cool, because they opened with that track.
Yeah.
And imagine Van Halen, and it was during the summer outdoors, opening with that tune. If you were there, you understand exactly the power of that era.
Because it was cool. It was like, the keyboards obviously are the majority of the whole song, and then once the solo kicks in, it's like Eddie's playing guitar, and the crowd just went.
And
it was so cool.
He always got up. On one of the monitors for that solo. Remember that?
Yeah, because that if anybody wants to see, like, they have that Middletown, New York concert on YouTube.
Yeah,
and I was there. That's the coolest thing about that is I was there.
Cool.
It's so awesome.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Carnal Knowledge.
Judgment Day is my favorite song off of that record.
Oh man.
Wow.
I would say Judgment Day as well.
I think so. I think mine as well. Even though, hold on. When I hear Right Now, I get goosebumps. Just
that's really what it's
the lyrical content and the song in general. Like when you talk about songwriting and structure, like you can't get better than that. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, sometimes you know what it is. Sometimes like they'll be your favorite song, but then there's like, what song would you play for sort of like anyone? You know what I mean? Like you have your favorite. Like for me, it's Judgment Day. It's just right in your face. Halen, Hit Me, great. But if I'm gonna play it for like a girl down the street, I'm gonna play Right Now.
The girl down the street, I'm trying to get in the pants,
Yeah. Right Now.
Yeah. No, a couple of years ago, my father was over helping me paint and stuff, and I had some, like a Van Halen playlist going, and Right Now came on.
You're talking about the red wall behind you?
No. No, this was in the house we had before this one, but he was he was just like, this song is great. Because he's not a huge like hard rock fan, but he appreciates it.
Yeah.
But when Right Now came on, he was like, this is a great song.
Yeah.
So are we gonna skip over the live stuff, right? And go straight to balance?
Well, we already skipped over it, but if you Right Here, Right Now.
No, we already
Right Here, Right Now came out after Carnal Knowledge.
Did it? Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Judgment Day.
Even though it's not on the album.
Yeah.
I always liked their version of "Won't Get Fooled Again." I always thought that was cool. You know, I used to hear that on the radio. That was a radio song.
Well, it's funny because when I saw them, they played "Rockin' in the Free World,"
Mm-hmm.
and I wish that was on the live album because their version was great,
Mm-hmm.
way better than Pearl Jam's version.
They closed. Yeah, they closed the Right Now tour with Rockin'. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really think that's where Eddie got the intro to "Don't Tell Me" was from him playing "Rockin' in the Free World." Because if you listen to the way he would start that song, he wasn't picking it the same way, but it was almost the same attack.
Wow, I never even thought about that.
As the dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And speaking of balance, that's my favorite balance song. Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do.
Oh man. I'm gonna say Seventh Seal.
This is a tough one between Aftershock and Feelin', but I think overall Feelin', because of the feelings it gives me.
Oh man.
But if I'm gonna put on a song from this album to rock, like I was in the car, I had on A Different Kind of Truth, and then when I was driving home, I changed it and put on Balance, and instantly to Aftershock. But overall, like as far as just the song overall, it's got to be Feelin'. So that's mine.
Mm-hmm. So what would be after that?
That's it.
The
Van
best
Halen's over.
Best of Volume 1, the 3 new Roth tunes. 3 or no? There was 2.
No,
2 of them.
Let's see.
Can't Get the Stuff No More and Me Wise Magic. Well, for me, real quickly, I was always into Can't Get This Stuff.
Yeah, that's better.
To me, something about Me Wise Magic something about it just kind of drove me crazy. Something about it.
Vocally or musically?
Musically.
Really? Because it was always vocally for me that kind of annoyed me. You know?
Like I mean, it's a great song, but just it was a little too quick. Dun 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 dun. Like it kept going, like going on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, Can't Get This Stuff No More. I really
Me Wise Magic is what, 6 minutes long? That's
well, maybe it was just too long. Maybe the song was a little too long. But Can't Get the Stuff. I always really dug it, and the verse, or no, the chorus to that you actually hear in the wildlife. You actually hear it during the song. It's Steve might know this. The music, like towards the end of the movie, there's a piece of music towards the end with what's the main character? What's Leah Thompson is with Bill. What's his name? The original Marty. The original Marty McFly. Right? They're hanging out in front of this, like they're packing. You know, they got kicked. If you guys haven't seen the movie, I don't want to ruin it, but he gets kicked out of his apartment. And there's a piece of music there with a dun 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 dun. It's the same as Me Wise. It's the same as Can't Get This Stuff. It's the chorus is the same thing. That's where he got that. But what?
Well,
I don't know.
Mad Dog says that right now is a powerful tune. And I guess that's a great way to describe that song, powerful, because when you hear it, it's you know, the lyrics, the music, the everything about it, you know, the key changes. It's just
Mhm.
you know, it's one of those songs where you just like, wow, you know, they struck gold with that. With
Yeah,
that
when I
song.
think
Oh,
when I
yeah.
think of the Sammy stuff, just in general, it was like really uplifting for me. Like whether it was Dreams or Mine
It
Oh
was a
Mine.
lot deeper, a lot
Yeah,
deeper.
there was uplifting songs, and I didn't really necessarily get that with the original Van Halen. That was more of that badass attitude thing. But when Hagar
Yep.
comes in, all of a sudden it was like singing about dreams, and it's all uplifting and being positive and stuff. That's the vibe that I, even thinking back to it now, when I think about it,
Yeah.
that's the vibe I get from it. Yeah. Or Top of the
I
World,
agree.
right? Standing on top of the world, that being all positive in that. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's probably the one song I would, if you had to remove one song from that album, that would probably be the one song that I pulled off of that album is Standing on Top of the World.
Really? You like Spanked better than Top of the World?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
And
because of music
Spanked
or
has the
because of the
outro.
lyrics?
It just has that corny pop song type of it, you know?
What?
Like I was bummed when I found out they were making the video for On Top of the World. I was like, really?
There's like two
Out of all the stuff?
videos for that. There was two videos
Yeah.
for that.
Yep, there was a performance video and then whatever the heck.
And
Yeah.
the astronaut, the space
Yeah.
version. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I skipped playing hockey because they premiered one of those videos, and I remember watching it like, man, I missed hockey for this. I was pissed.
Oh, I remember watching the debuts of those videos.
Yeah.
Back in '91, there was during the day they premiered the regular version, like the astronaut space version, and then at night there was a live version.
Yeah.
Which I learned, later on was filmed in Sacramento at the Arco Arena.
Huh.
Well, the daytime
live
one is the one I remember because it probably would have been, oh man, sometime in the late afternoon, mid to late afternoon is when they premiered it, because I remember it was still daytime out when I left hockey to go home to watch it. And it was still daytime on the East Coast. So I'm sure we could probably go type in on Google, when it premiered on MTV, and
And actually, there was another version. There was a third version of that video that they took from the live Dallas show. Did you know that, Steve?
Yeah, I have that. I have that whole concert.
Yeah, but no, they actually did they actually made a video from Top of the World from that with more footage from that show.
Oh, cool.
Have you seen that?
Well, no, I have that whole concert, that Dallas Alley show.
Yeah.
That was the Eruption video from Jeff Hausman. He sent that one to me right away. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Michael Smith said it. He said On Top of the World was derived from the end of Jump. And that's true.
Yeah. There's a riff in there at the end of Jump. Yeah.
Yep. But it's more prominent in on Standing on Top of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. There's a third music video for that. That's taken from the Dallas Alley free Christmas show, whatever you want to call it, with more footage from that. It's cool. It's cool.
What do you guys think about Pleasure Dome?
I like it. My band used to play that. We used to play it as an instrumental thing. Yeah, it was cool.
Johnny?
Cool. I like it. What, Eddie's using the trans tram on that? Right?
Yeah. Because I do remember that was the one song on the album where it took me a while to really appreciate, I guess. And then when I watched them play live and lead into Alex's drum solo,
Yeah.
For some reason, I liked the song after I saw, like, we bought it on Laserdisc, you know, the Live Right Here Right Now concert.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty cool riff. You know, the whole thing. And now when I listen to that song, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I love that song.
Sometimes going to a concert and seeing a band, and that happens, like a song that, oh, that's a pretty cool song, but then you see it live and then they might extend an ending or something of it. That's like me with Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. Like when I saw them play at an outdoor amphitheater in the middle of Washington State, right at the end where Sammy goes, hey, 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 and the whole crowd goes, hey, hey, hey. Like we did that for like a minute at the end of the song. So like that's why no other song's ever gonna touch that, just because of that experience of, holy cow, they extended the end of that, and hey, 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 and the whole crowd, and they put the lights on the whole crowd. And, hey, 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 like you can't take that away from me, right?
How'd it go?
Yeah.
No, but you're right, man. It's just a lot of the you know, it might not be the best song on the album, which, you know, is I'm not saying that song in general. I'm just saying music in general. Like sometimes a certain part of a certain song will do something to somebody.
Oh yeah.
And it's what that does to them makes it their favorite song or their favorite whatever.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful thing about music, man, is it does different things to different people.
Yep.
And we're talking about music that was written, you know, how many years ago now? You know, Balance came out in 95. I skipped school that day to go to Stroudsburg, New York to pick up that album.
24
and I
years?
got in deep doo-doo. Yeah, I got in deep doo-doo for skipping school that day because it was about that time where like the school started calling home if you didn't show up, you know? And I got in deep doo-doo, but I got the new Van Halen album, so it didn't matter, you know?
Doesn't matter.
Didn't matter. Deep doo-doo.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing good in school anyway. Yeah.
and at the end of the day, Jay, 2 + 2 is still 4, right? So it's all
good. Right, man. Yeah. That's right. And music has done more for me in life than anything else has done. So, you know.
Until your daughter was born.
Yeah, but the beautiful thing now is like being able to pass on, hopefully, being able to pass music on to her. You know, I don't want to listen to the stuff that's on the radios now. You know? Like she loves whenever I put on whatchamacallit? Like Van Halen and stuff like that. Like all you gotta top 40s, yeah. No, but the second she hears the opening riff to Summer Nights, she starts bopping. Because all I've played for her is Van Halen since she's been born. I'm brainwashing my daughter.
I do that with my cousin's kids. Every Christmas I get this one of the sons. I always get him like the next Van Halen record. I've gone through the whole catalog. Like the last yeah, since he was 10. Like he's gotten like every album every Christmas, like in order.
Well, you gotta tell Eddie to put a new one out so you can you know, keep it going.
Yeah, it's getting tough. Those guys are senior citizens now, aren't they?
Well, Sammy's my dad's age. That's what's nuts, man.
70.
I'm like, Dad, could you imagine being on stage singing right now? It's so funny, but Sammy still does it, man. You got to give him credit. Did you guys see that video of Sammy and Michael Anthony with Steve Stevens playing Pound Cake?
Where was this at?
Steve Stevens posted it on his Facebook or Twitter page saying bucket list item crossed off. You know, he played Pound Cake with those guys.
Do you know where that was played at?
I do not. Probably somewhere in California.
Oh, okay. So it was like a Circles concert, and then Steve Stevens just showed up, I guess.
I don't know if it was a Circles concert, because I don't know on them, but you know. So when I put this neck on, Steve, since Johnny's not here, we can bullshit a little bit. But when I put the maple neck on, it was strange to get used to. It was almost like I wasn't able to see the fretboard because I've always played rosewood or ebony.
Yep.
And when I put this on, I was like, man, I can't really focus on the fretboard as well as now I love it.
No, but do you ever notice, like just generally, like when you put your fingers on the fretboard, do you feel like you're sort of digging into the wood more? Like, cause like with rosewood and stuff, there's sort of more of a lacquer on it or something in comparison to the maple. It feels like I'm actually really into the wood.
Well, yeah, I could see that because with Eddie's fretboards, I mean, they're not finished. You know, they're basically, there's no lacquer on that. You know what I mean? So it feels great, you know. And at first, like the first couple of days I was playing this thing, I was like, man, I can't get used to the maple fretboard. And now I love it, man. I love it. It feels phenomenal, you know. But so, you know, even my wife, you know, who doesn't know a damn thing about guitars, but you know, I showed her this after the when I took this fretboard off of it. She's like, it looks so much cooler with the other one on. I was like, yeah, that's right. It looks so much cooler with this on. You can't argue with your wife, you know. So, but Simon Williams says 7/8. It'll never work. I have 3 daughters, and they go with what? And I'm sure something's coming. I think he hit enter before he finished. Hold on, Pascal. What? Am I missing something here? What's going on? So Johnny has both, right? You have both. You have the ebony fretboards and the maple, right? You've played both as he's dying there in his Okay.
I'm coughing again.
I think the ebony plays a little faster though. Like on the USA neck with the ebony, I feel like it plays a little faster. But I mean, there's no, this still feels awesome. The maple.
Cool.
No, but Johnny's played both though.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Huh?
Johnny, the difference for you. Johnny, the difference for you between playing like a maple neck and then ebony, let's say.
The ebony fretboard.
Yeah.
The difference?
Yeah, for you. Anything?
To me, the ebony. Yeah, I think like he said, faster. I think I can agree to that. Has like a slicker feel to it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How many watching, Jay?
950.
I
don't want
to surprisingly, quite a few for.
Yeah, for 4 o'clock in the morning my time.
Dang. Although we should probably
kill it.
Probably wrap it up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But what? Okay. What about favorite song off the records? What about Van Halen 3? Favorite song?
Oh man. I really like that breakdown riff in Fire in the Hole. Yeah, it's cool to me. I like that riff in Fire in the Hole. But I gotta say, I like that riff, but I think Year to the Day, I think is my favorite song off of that. I mean, it's just, there's something about that song I love, man.
after that intro part, after that nonsense, whatever, how long the intro is to whatever. Yeah. Year to the Day it's that one song on that album that really touches, touches you.
That, you know what it is for me? It shows the potential. Like, there was nothing wrong with that lineup. They just needed to sort out making it, if they had made a better record, let's say. And Year to the Day for me was a sign of that. And then there's all kinds of little riffs in all the songs. Like, it could have been something great. It didn't quite hit home enough with people, I guess.
That's the only album I ever returned to the store.
Really?
Van Halen 3. Yeah. That album hurt me. It hurt, man. Because I loved Sammy so much. And then when that album came out, obviously, the day it came out, I went and bought it. But after a few days, I couldn't, attach to it.
Yeah, you needed a song.
And I was always a fan of Extreme. That's the thing. I always, from when
I had all the
Porno
records.
Graffiti came out.
I had the record even before that. Just the Extreme record. I had that.
Yeah, the first Extreme record, which is actually really, really good. Just the drums sound like crap on it, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I always loved Extreme, but it just didn't work with Van Halen, But
and
I think a lot of it had to do with Eddie basically telling Gary what to sing, So, what are you snacking on?
He's got popcorn.
Popcorn.
Oh,
there's always that second record that never really got released. I know one day somebody somewhere down the line is going to release The Vault.
Dude, I forgot. There's some bogus video that claims to be one of the tracks.
Really?
I sent it to Jay.
Oh, right on.
Where is it?
I listened to 5 seconds of it, and I was like, number one, the guitars are too loose and sloppy.
Can you play
number
it?
Two, huh?
Can you play it? Because I might get. I'm supposed to be real quiet right now, but can you dig up the video and just play the audio real quick?
And I instantly heard number one. Like I said, the guitars were too sloppy, and the snare drum was not Alex's snare drum. So let me
play it. We'll see what people think. Do you guys think it's actually Van Halen? This video came out, I think, today. The audio saying this was Van Halen.
No longer available due to copyright claims.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
Oh. You think that was them? You think that was real?
I don't know. I think it might be one of those things where they have somebody searching all the time and they don't want people thinking that's them, because that was bad. That was not good at all.
Where is it? I sent it to you guys. Earlier.
You did.
I should have saved it. Dang it.
Look at the thumbnail for right now's video.
No longer available. Copyright claim by. Oh. Wait a minute.
Wait, who was the copyright claim? I skipped that.
The copyright claim was from Andrew Bennett. He's the guy that's selling that vault. So that actually could have been them.
Wow.
That could have been real.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have saved it, man. We should have saved it.
Oh, man. Well, now I guess I don't trust my ears anymore, because I thought I had good ears for music, but I guess not.
No, it sounded like them. It sounded like Alice and Eddie playing when I heard it. That's funny, though, how a copyright claim by Andrew Bennett, and he's the one being sued by Van Halen.
Yeah.
For that vault.
Huh.
But anyway, it was a video. It was Van Halen Left for Dead 2018 demo is what it was called. Which I don't think it would be 2018, because why would he sue them for something for this year? He hasn't been around them in years.
In a decade, over a decade, I guess now, right?
That's weird.
I'm trying
So
to see if anybody else like copied it and posted it. You know. Nope.
I know somebody who might have. I know somebody who, if he heard it, he would have saved it. Let me write down. So maybe that was them.
Huh.
It was interesting. I mean, it was an interesting tune.
I wish I would have listened to it longer.
A lot of people were. Well, I only heard it once. I only heard it that one time, and I sent it to you guys, asking what you guys thought about it. It kind of sounded like a human's being kind of riff, is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I've got the inside issue number 15.
Steve, you're the best, man.
No, I'm gonna read out the working song titles for what would have been the Sharon's second record. So I'll just read some of the titles. Maybe Johnny will recognize it from the song he.
Oh yeah, Left for Dead. It was Left for Dead is what they were calling it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that's one of the titles. Yeah, that's one of the titles.
Yeah.
But also, that was the Sharon song for his Tribe of Judah CD. Was Left for Dead, and apparently he reused those lyrics that he had written for the Van Halen version of that.
Wow.
What are the titles though for the Van Halen 3 follow-up?
The first one's called Rock and Roll Cliche. The next one's called I Want Her Anyway. The next one's called More Than Yesterday. The next one's called Love Again. The next one's called Miss You Much. That's not a Janet Jackson song, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
You Wear It Well. The next one's called Say Uncle. The next one's called River Wide. I don't know if that has anything to do with the song Big River that they did for.
So they're all like 3-syllable.
Yeah. Left for Dead. Then there's Left for Dead.
Yeah.
And then the one That's Why I Love You. And I think that's the one that Mitch Malloy was on. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He called it It's the Right Time is what he called it.
Yeah.
That was the demo that was sent, I believe, to like all the potential singers. Was what became That's Why I Love You. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they have they've got video. They thought they did a poll like, okay, video hits volume 2, and then Johnny, they list the top of the world, all 3 versions. So live in Sacramento, Space, and then live in Dallas. So there it is. There's all 3.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's watching this, hopefully somebody saved that video we were talking about from earlier today, because it looks like that was maybe actually them. An instrumental version of Eddie and Alex playing something
longer than I guess.
That's
I basically cut it off after about, like I said, real quick, and I was like, man, there's no way Eddie would be that sloppy unless he was dead. And the snare drum was not Alex's snare drum, but I guess I was wrong.
I mean, that's what Dave Nesdahl said. He said that didn't sound like Alex. That sounded like Alex's kit, but it didn't sound.
Not to me, it didn't.
He said it didn't sound like Alex playing. The one thing I got from it, I only heard it once, was it was kind of distorted, but to me, some of it didn't groove. And to me, that's why I was thinking, well, it's not Eddie and Alex, because why would they go out of time together? They don't.
Yeah.
When they play together, they're always right on. So that's what I heard. But the music, it was interesting music. It sounded kind of like a human's being kind of tune, but it had some interesting parts to it. But
Well, I
yeah,
wish I
hopefully,
listened more now.
if anybody saved it, let us know. I'm sure somebody did.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure somebody
yeah.
did. But I'm still not convinced that that was them. But if Andrew Bennett, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That's as soon as you
That's
said that, I was like, wait a minute. There's something behind. Because if it wasn't them, then why would he even give a crap, right?
Yeah. And then there's guys. There's photos. Guys, there's photos here of Gary Sharon with Michael Anthony, and then another one with Alex Van Halen. But Gary Sharon has grown his hair out and has dyed it sort of blonde. So maybe he was forced to grow his hair out and dye it blonde by the Halen brothers.
Well, remember the quote from Eddie saying, like, somebody asked him, like, when did you know that Gary wasn't whatever? And he made some comment like, oh, when I saw what he was wearing the first show that we did with him. And I was like, what? Remember? Eddie made the comment like he came out wearing, whatever.
Some black tight suit.
Yeah, it was some, whatever it was. But then it got to the point of like doing a second record together.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that possibly maybe, when the time comes, Wolfie is probably going to inherit all that stuff. So maybe there'll be a time when, he, dives into the vault and releases all of this stuff because, according to Eddie and Alex, there's like albums and albums and albums worth of material.
Yeah.
Which is a shame,
There's the Van Halen 3 premiere party. So the release of the record and playing live, a premiere party, that's the shots from it.
yeah, that's like Billboard Live.
Yeah.
In Hollywood. Yeah. They ended up doing like they did a radio premiere of the album, which I heard. I think I heard some of it. I was in the car, and they did like an interview, and then afterwards, they played live.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the pictures right there.
Yeah.
Man, I want to hear that song now again, man. Somebody.
Podcast. What's going on?
Oh.
There's a cool centerfold from probably the second tour. I don't know what stadium this is. Big beach ball out in the crowd. Big beach ball, 1979 tour. I can always tell because of Eddie's pants. He's got those red pants on.
Wow.
Like Johnny's red pants.
That's a crowd, man.
Could you imagine playing in front of that kind of crowd?
Yes. Man,
well, there's a an Iron Maiden concert from them playing. I think it was like 2000 or 2001.
In Rio? Rio, Brazil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rock in Rio, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's like 200,000 people.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah, the US Festival was like that too, like 300,000 people or something. Like as far as you can see, there's bodies.
as far as you can see, and when you watch that Rock in Rio, the Brazil Iron Maiden concert, when they play Fear of the Dark, right?
Yeah.
And the crowd is singing the guitar melody.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they're just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine the feeling.
Yeah, they're huge down there, like Central America and South America. Like it's
Yeah.
huge. All they have is soccer, and they're Iron Maiden fans, right? Like those are the two.
and violent crime.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
violent crime. They lead the world in heavy metal and violent crime and soccer.
Yeah.
I apologize if anybody's watching from there, but you'll know it's true. So never mind.
Oh man.
So yeah. Anyway, Steve, did you see my unboxing earlier?
I saw you got some new strings.
I got 4 sets of EVH strings that I'm thinking, and I discussed this with Johnny. Maybe I'll donate 2 sets of these to the show. You know, maybe like we'll start off with a small giveaway, you know, or something like that. And then I got a EVH leather strap.
Oh, strap, yeah.
Yep.
You got that from the Van Halen store?
No, I got it from Fender.
Oh, okay.
My old buddy that worked at Ibanez when I was there. So, but I made sure, and I don't know if it was Dave or John. He said, "Make sure." Did you make sure you got the normal size one, the 42?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. But these things are stiff, man. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You work them in as you go.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the nylon ones. I haven't tried the nylon.
Yeah, I was thinking
ones.
about getting that one instead, but I haven't tried one.
Yeah.
Johnny, Pascal is awake.
Pascal in France, yeah.
Hey, Pascal, man.
Well, he's
What
about
time is
10
it?
He's 10 hours ahead of us. It's like noon. It's noon in France.
Oh man.
11:30.
Cool. Hey, you guys good?
Always good.
It's 1:30. It's 4:30, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, but Jay's a night owl.
Oh, dude, this ain't nothing for me, man.
Man. All right. All right. Well, I think it's been a while. I think what we started at like what
9:30.
oh my god. 4 hours?
I'm thinking 9:30 my time. I'm like, holy crap. I've been on for 7 hours.
Dang. All right. Yeah, I think I gotta split.
Splitsville.
Splitsville. But again, if you happen to be seeing this and you happen to save the audio to that Van Halen Left for Dead 2018 video, please let one of us know. I only heard it once.
Yeah. No, I was saying if you want to comment about your favorite song from Van Halen 1 or Different Kind of Truth or anything in between, list your favorite songs from each album in the chat or in the comments,
And why they're better than the ones we picked.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Anyway.
Anthrax. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
What I'm playing is completely not on the same key as that. It's so funny. It sounds like What are you playing through right now?
I'm playing through the Eddie Van Halen micro stack. It's going to be upgraded to the EL34 micro stack though. But the 5150 overdrive pedals coming through here, so
They should allow you to daisy chain 2 of those together and then put effects and stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
I even got a mini Marshall here too. We'll get 3 of them going.
Does it have a belt clip on it? Yes, it does. There it is. There it is. Does the EVH have that? What is?
No.
Oh, okay. It has a stand instead of a belt clip. That's funny. What would you rather have?
The EVH one.
No, not the amp. I'm talking about. Would you rather have the belt clip on the back or a stand on the back?
It's a non-issue. I lie it down. I lie them down on their backs.
Well, we're talking about the amps, right?
Yeah.
The EVH is bigger though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
Let's do a size comparison, Steve.
oh
wow. Oh yeah.
EVH gear, everybody. It's
And that's
bigger,
rare.
It's better.
That's
it's
rare.
Fatter.
That's rare. The white one's bigger than the black one.
That never happens.
I'm gonna blame Dave for that. Thank you, Simon. I'm feeling a lot better. Pascal, then. All right. Sorry, we got it. We'll have to go to sleep.
Oh man. My head's gonna pop. Steve doesn't know what's going on.
I have no idea what just happened. Something about white stuff and black stuff.
Oh, come on.
Oh man.
All right.
All
right. We'll see you guys. Maybe we'll see you guys this weekend. I've got a rehearsal Sunday. So maybe, I don't know, go live Sunday from Oakland. Maybe. I don't know. But
she's still dying.
Oh man.
Michael Smith. Michael, are you watching? Michael just sent me a text. Hey, Johnny, had to jump off the chat tonight. Question: what are you talking about? What?
I'm out of the chat. What are you talking about? Well,
yeah, he's
well,
asking.
if you must know.
He's asking me. Yeah, I need a neck. Yeah, I need a Wolfgang neck.
Yep.
Jay has one.
So,
thanks, Steve. Well, Johnny, if I ever get this, well, I'm sure I will, but when I get this one thin enough at the neck pocket, we'll discuss this one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good.
Well,
Good night, Simon.
Does Michael Smith have an extra one laying around or something?
No. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'll send him a text. Good night, everybody. Christo Dove, who's laughing. ET 1550, Pascal, Fender Guru. All you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Wow, we got 31 thumbs ups.
Yes.
A lot of people looking at us, man. And this
Pascal says, "How much for the neck? If anybody gets it, it's going to be Johnny. Sorry.
Hopefully cheap. No. Good night, Fender Guru.
Of course.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
I'm choking, man.
Johnny says good night.
Anthrax is no fun, you guys. All right. All right. Thank you for watching, you guys. Thank you for listening. Leave a thumbs up. And we did a video earlier tonight with Larry Mitchell. So check that out if you haven't. A lot of fun. He was in a music video with Rico Kasich called Rockaway, which I still have to check out. So you guys want to see our friend Larry Mitchell with Rico Kasich from the Cars, check out the music video called Rock Away, which I'll be doing once we hang up. So yeah, I'll be around tomorrow. Maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll see.
Oh man. All right, Johnny. Pascal wants you to say hi to Europe, Johnny. Before you go, before you put your pants.
Hello, Europe.
Hello, Cleveland. I mean Europe.
What do you call it? You're American when you go in the bathroom. When you're in the bathroom, you're European.
You're European. Well, remember the Seinfeld episode when he had the handbag or the man purse, whatever they called it? It's European.
The Merce.
The Merce, yes. See, if Nesdal was here, if Nesdal was here, yeah. Anyway.
Yes, Dutchie, you're late, man. We're leaving. Tonight was insane. You've got hours and hours and hours to
catch up on.
Yes.
But the only thing worth it is the last 10 minutes of this. If you just want to hear me and Johnny laugh and Steve just play his guitar, that's it.
Crazy. All right. David Ellis, good night. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Steve.
Yeah.
Whoa. Good to see you, man.
Awesome.
Jay.
Yeah, Johnny.
I can't stop coughing.
Well, Fender Guru enjoyed it. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Fender Guru. Thank you, man. Tell all your friends, please.
All of them.
All of them. All right. We'll see you guys later. Maybe tomorrow. All right. Johnny Beane. JohnnyBeane.cough. It's horrible. All right.
Steve Romerson.
Yeah.
And whatever I am.
Get crazy. Jay Hannon's in the house.
Jay
Poof.
Poof Hannon. Yeah.
Poof.
Oh, God. What have I started? What have I done?
Well, someone's making you a poof shirt and they're sending it to you.
I hope it's female cut like Michael Anthony's was.
Show some
Cut
chest.
it off at the belly button. I don't have any chest hair, but yeah, that'll be fine. All right.
All right. We'll see you guys later. All right. Good night.
All right, everybody.